kick to the gut.
I like it.
Yo, here we go, baby. We're coming in hot. We have a jam-packed show for you. It is the season finale. After all, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building, bro. Episode 45. Are you crazy, bro?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know, man. There are some games I don't put this much effort into, okay? There are some things in life I don't even put this much effort into. But pro wrestling, man, it's been here for us since we were kids, and we're going to be there for it till we die.
Yeah, okay, bro. Think about it, bro. We started this podcast in 2018. It's been, it's going on 4 years.
Woohoo.
I think we've hit like 195 episodes. You're going to hit episode 200 soon. Bro, this has lasted longer than a lot of my relationships, bro. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what this says about you, lah. I'm a long-term kind of guy. You know what I mean?
It says that I might not be, like doing also good there, but I'm a loyal wrestling fan. Always last long.
The bromance with pro wrestling is strong. I want to say hello to chat, by the way. Thanks for being here today, showing up in full force for our season finale. Let's say hi to Irvin. Mighty, I mean, Big T, what's up? Seriously, Sarah, it's good to see you. Urfi, yo, Div Royalty, Wonder Boy. It's a party, baby.
Hey, bro, we got representative from SPW, representative from GrappleMax, representative from ROR, representative from MyPW, all on the chat.
That's why.
Of course, Div, our long-term Patreon. What's up? Respect to you, all of you. Woo, that's amazing.
And it was nice to have met you, Irvin, by the way, at the SPW event as well.
Yes, for sure. So you guys showed up for our podcast. We also did our best to show up for SPW over the weekend. 2 nights, bro. Crazy, bro. We had to tag in and out, bro, just to cover both nights. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, our intern, he can be our manager, lah. He's the Malcolm Bivens of our tag team. He's there all the way through.
Man, now we're giving Saleh like new nicknames, bro. Manager. Bro, I think Young Boy. What's next, bro?
Big T and Wonder Boy starting a feud on chat already, you know.
Hey, walao, guys, we haven't even gotten warm up yet. We're starting feuds.
Yeah, they're starting feud on the chat. This might lead to the next. Are we building storylines, planting seeds in the Kick to the Gut chat? Wonder Boy said F Big T. And then my Big T is like, Wonder Boy, you want to die? Let's go.
Bro, no chill given, guys. Okay, you all want to fight later after the review, okay? We go fight offline, okay?
Basket lah. Before we do anything though, I very quickly want to shout out as well that, it's been like how many episodes? 195 episodes you mentioned, right?
Yes, correct.
You've been there for us and we want to celebrate with you. So December the 11th, mark it down in your calendar app, right? We are throwing a party. We're doing actually a special episode. That's right. Year-end episode, awards and everything. And then right after that, we are doing a party and we want you there. Okay, Foreign, you've been to this place. Oh, have you been there? You've been to the place, right?
Yes, BGL, Pakaliao.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Is it really what is called Pakaliao?
No, as in the room is called BGL room. But I think the whole... Yeah.
Pakaliao means like where everything also have. So got pool table,
correct.
Got sound system, got TV, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, bro. Apparently there's a huge ass screen. You can play Netflix. I don't know whether we can put in WWE Network, then really make it like a wrestling party. That'll be dope.
Bro, if we bring a laptop, we can play whatever we want. And I know a lot of you wrestling fans, Okay, how about this? I know a lot of you want to see us watch some stuff we don't usually watch. Like, yeah, we can have WWE Network, we can have AEW. That one is standard. What if we dedicate an entire segment to showing some Stardom matches? And then we react live. How about that? Live reaction.
I think after we watch a bit of Mei Suruga, a bit of Riho at SPW, I think we want to have a bit of our Stardom feel. I tell you, a lot of people simping for them. I mean, not just me included, but a lot of the people there. So, yes, why not?
Gato Move and Stardom different lah.
Bro, I understand, but I'm saying it's like Japanese wrestlers, female wrestlers, they're the best.
That style, is that what you're into? Look, and I will bring this up again on the podcast later when we talk about SPW. My issue has never been with smaller size wrestlers fighting. It's never been that, right? Every time we've seen Riho in Asia fighting wrestlers of a similar size, it's made sense, right? But when you go and have Riho beat Nyla Rose, or then it starts bordering on the realm of this is bullshit.
We need to like always refer back to Rey Mysterio, because when somehow Rey Mysterio makes it believable.
Yep.
Because he really fights out like an underdog. I mean, we can dive right into, but back to our
party. Yes, back to the party.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So okay. December 11th in the afternoon, come hang out with us. We'll have pizza, we'll have food, and we'll play games. We even got prizes to give away as well. More than anything, all that aside, we just want it to be a space where us wrestling fans can hang out, talk wrestling, talk life, talk whatever, talk shit, basically.
Yeah, but I heard that the walls, bro, you can vandalize, bro. It's those like erasable walls.
Oh.
So you come, you can go decorate, you can put a lot of suck it, put DX signs, do whatever you want. And
Sesame, Daddy.
Someone, any artistic people that's gonna come down, please feel free to vandalize the wall. And I think it should be great fun. One thing we want to do is we are planning out merch. So we are trying to prepare some interesting things. So at least you guys go there. Not only just get to enjoy food, not only get to talk wrestling, you come home with some kick to the gut merch as well.
And more importantly, come back with an experience. So who say how much per person, Foreign?
Hey, alamak, bro. We have been promoting this on Instagram, I never see. Okay, so it's just it's $20 per person.
Yep.
You just DM us. If you're on our Discord, great. Just DM me, Young or Saleh, and then we'll pass you like the contact details. And then after that, just once you pay now, the $20, share your screenshot. We'll put you guys in the list. Let us know your shirt size. Then after that, we can faster print out some shit. I don't know, we got 2 weeks. I don't know we got enough time, but we'll try our best. So please confirm and attend and let us know. So you guys take your name down. We know how much pizza to order. So yes, all this contingent on you guys turning up. So I don't want it to be a sausage party between me, Young, and our intern lah.
What is a sausage party, bro?
Bro,
sausage
I mean sausage
party.
pizza. Sausage pizza party, bro. That's what I meant.
Mine is lapchong. I don't know what kind of sausage you have. What?
No, never mind. I don't want to talk about sausage sizes right.
Yours cannot be pork one though. It just has to be chicken sausage.
Correct.
Go.
Halal sticks.
Okay, Elfie suggests react to Impact. If we as a group reacted to Impact, there would be more people watching Impact than usually. People who watch it on a weekly basis, okay? Irving says, watch the WrestleMania gimmick battle royale. Why? So we can watch Iron Sheik win it because nobody can throw him over the top rope because he might die.
Bro, it's supposed to be a party, not a snooze fest. We don't want to halal people away, okay, guys?
Yeah. But Div says, have fun, bum to be missing. Oh man, Div is going to be busy. Is it?
Div will be overseas, right? She said.
Hey, Div is our OG. Maybe we should put a camera and then she can like live zoom in live or something.
I hope so. You know what? Don't worry, Div. We'll try. Okay, depending on the success of this event, we'll try to have it more often. We were thinking like if this does well, we would love to have it on like WrestleMania weekend. Bro. Then we can literally do a show together, kind of thing.
That's the dream, huh? Do it on WrestleMania weekend. Have like a big ass like. I know it's a Monday. Is it still? Yeah, it's gonna be a Sunday morning, Monday morning.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Last year's WrestleMania, was it Sunday and Monday or Saturday and Sunday? I forgot.
It was Sunday morning, Monday morning.
But then they've now shifted their pay-per-view schedule, premium live event schedule 1 day earlier. So maybe it could be Saturday morning, Sunday morning, which will be perfect.
If that was the case, I promise you, bro, I'll take leave Friday, I'll take leave Saturday. We'll throw a big ass party, bro. And then we can do a WrestleMania wrestling party again, another pizza party part 2. So Div, don't worry, you won't be missing out.
Hey.
Hopefully next year we can do another similar thing as well.
Like that one, them just book hotel room already. We big ass penthouse hotel room, and then we put on WrestleMania, and then we sleep there in the hotel room. Next day wake up, watch again.
Bro.
And then we bring a PlayStation, we play WWE 2K, we play AEW Fight Forever whenever the hell that game comes out. Bro,
okay,
ideas.
Bro, if that's the case, right? I think we need to get a property in Batam to do it, bro. Because first of all, in Singapore, I don't know how much it will cost to do that.
Bro, in my mind, I'm thinking like big ass room at MBS, and then you Batam Resort one time. Actually, that's a good idea. Batam Resort one time, keep the cost down, right?
Bro, have you seen the Batam 5-star hotel? That one is next level, bro. Don't look down on Batam, bro. Yes.
But the real question is the Wi-Fi can make it or not. Because sekali we sit there, watch WrestleMania, we all hype, and then stuttering.
Okay. We'll discuss that. Okay, we don't discuss future events. We discuss upcoming events.
Yes,
so yes,
the here now.
Yes, please. If you guys are interested, please DM us on our Instagram that you're interested. If people, all those guys from SPW want to round up one whole gang, any of our ROR want to round up one whole gang, let us know. Our GrappleMax peeps upcoming. Also, they're having their event today, this weekend. Let them know. So I think this is like a great way to end the calendar year for local wrestling fans, local wrestlers, and us podcasters as well. I think we just want to hang out among our wrestling kingdom of community. You know what I mean?
I love it. Kingdom. Div Royalty says long-term booking by Mr. Young. See this one, long-term booking. I don't do Tony Khan style. All right, let's get down to the actual pro wrestling. Speaking of Tony Khan, by the way, like this week, no news from AEW, which I'm actually very glad for.
Yeah, it's a down week, which is good. I feel like there's been too much of AEW for a while.
Yeah. We need to concentrate on other things and think about other things, right?
Yes, correct. The focus now this week, thankfully, it will be just WWE and of course, because of local wrestling. So.
Yes, local wrestling. And I mean, we first of all need to say congratulations once again to SPW. 10 years. I mean, if you think about it, and I posted it on my socials as well, like Andrew's statement, him giving that emotional speech right at the end, right? Like talking about like pro wrestling in Singapore 10 years ago didn't even exist. It was a pipe dream. Us, you and I, when we were growing up watching wrestling, it's like, wow, this is so cool. I mean, did you ever at any point in your childhood think that one day there would be a wrestling promotion in Singapore? There would be a Singapore wrestler in the WWE?
No idea, bro. This is beyond wildest dream. Sometimes you dream like, oh, maybe I hope one day I find enough friends to talk about wrestling in Singapore.
Yeah.
You don't think of like, oh, one day we're going to start our own podcast and talk about wrestling and going on 4 years? I mean, that's crazy. And the fact that SPW kind of set the tone, set the landscape. Because let's be honest, like we got to pay tribute to SPW, right? Without SPW, there is no Singapore wrestling scene, right?
Yeah.
I would even dare say that no other promotions like GrappleMax who have sprouted up, ROR, all of them, their origins came from SPW. And I think we also have to give credit to Statement because everyone had visions, but I think he was the one who had like the balls to go after it, like regardless of whatever scrutiny or people who doubt him. And he's to have lasted this long, right? Through so many challenges, I think it's really, really commendable. So hats off to Statement, hats off to everyone at SPW for making it to 10 years.
Absolutely. There you go. Okay, so let's talk about SPW's huge 2-day event, the SPW X Astronomical Anniversary. Yeah. That one's for you, Statement. Okay, you went to day one. Talk to us about the vibe of day one. Some banger matches. I'm taking a look at the list.
Oh, for sure, man. Okay, so I think day one, of course, they had a lot of challenges going up for them, right? It's a Thursday night, So understandable. I'm assuming that the crowd all wasn't going to be as full as the second day, right? Second day, everyone's like, okay, Friday night, let's go. So I was very curious what kind of show SPW is going to put on day one as like a appetizer, right? It's like a WrestleMania night one, because you never know, there might be return customers. There might be people who go on the first day, they liked it, they want to come back on the second day, right?
Yeah.
So I came first with our very, very reliable intern, Saleh.
That's what she said.
Oh, woo. Okay. Don't know what Saleh's been doing, on the download. Hey, but I want to tell a very funny anecdote. So he came with me, right? But he also his girlfriend also was there,
right?
And she came like with another friend who have never watched wrestling before.
Okay,
no idea what to expect. And you know how it is, like Mr. Ya, like we love to hear or like want to get to know people who are like who never watch wrestling and get to know their thoughts, like what they expect and all that. So I remember this friend. So shout out to shout out to Salih's girlfriend and the friend. When she was saying like, I have no idea what to expect. I'm just gonna sit there and I'm just gonna follow whoever to cheer and boo. And I'm like, bro, don't worry, you sit down, you experience it for yourself. So I was excited for them, right? Because like 10 years in, still got new faces checking out SPW who have never seen or known about them. So I think the atmosphere was really, really great. Straight away, hats off to Andres Frois. I keep pronouncing his name wrong. Yes, Frois for like kicking off the whole night. And even though yes, like I said, like one part of the ringside wasn't as full as the others, but the sides that were full, everyone was like super hyped.
Right.
And we were sitting right in front of like this whole bunch of GrappleMax wrestlers. Got Lady Killer, Shota all behind me. And I thought Lady Killer, I think, was having a good drunk time, bro. I think it was getting noisier as the night went along. So
Ayo.
shout out to all the GrappleMax people that was sitting behind us. So yeah, so like I think it was like a great kickstart to the night's event. You wanna run down the card slowly?
Sure. I have the card right in front of me. So okay, we kicked off the night with Destroyer Dharma and Shivam versus Terry Diesel and Kojio.
Oh my god, bro. I thought the field came to SPW here. Can we talk about Kojio or not? Sure. Who is this Kojio, man? And I was reading up. He apparently trained... Bro, you will like this, bro. He trained, I think, in the QT Marshall factory, bro.
He trained at the Nightmare Factory, right? So yeah, he's associated with that whole group. The Mask apparently has a bit of a history, as we heard from Dr. Gore last week on the show as well.
Correct. Yeah, so the whole MJF connection. So if you want to know more, check out our previous episode. But yeah, bro, Kojio, I thought like was a great like first opponent to like kind of introduce to the crowd.
Yep.
And of course, I think Terry Diesel, we've seen Terry Diesel before, so he's just a crazy ass looking Thai guy, lah, bro. Like I look at him. I don't want to run into him in the streets of Bangkok at night. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, right. There you go. The match itself, of course, the winners were Dharma and Shivam. I am going to assume this was a hard-hitting horse fight.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so I like this tag team of Dharma and Shivam, right? So we've seen Shivam before. I don't know whether you saw some of the recent events. Shivam is a representative, like for I think Setup, right? Setup, or it's one of the Thailand promotions, and he is like an ace there, right? He is like really good, very charismatic. As my girlfriend says, very very handsome Indian man. Oh, so. She likes her Bollywood movies, lah. So you know, yeah. So And I think
we will get to chat with Shivam in just a bit while we'll find out what his thoughts are about the event and everything. Thanks to our lovely intern Saleh.
Yes, for sure. And he was great. I think he had charisma, and I think right off the bat, Dharma is like a fan favorite for all of the SPW fans. So like they were definitely rooting for it. They were a very likable babyface duo.
Wait. Yeah. Hold on. Big T says, don't you think he looks like Stephen Lim Koko? Wait, who looks like Stephen Lim Koko? Not Kojio, not Shivam, right?
Can't be Kojio, like he's wearing a mask, bro.
Yeah, he's wearing a mask. So who are you talking about, Big T? What's going on here? Why would you insult anybody by saying they look like Stephen Lim Koko? Excuse me?
Bro, Shivam looks like Stephen Lim wants to be Shivam, not Shivam wants to be Stephen Lim. Come
exactly, right? And then after that, we had an open challenge. Okay. Open challenge for the Vixen title, Alexis Lee versus Kylie Black. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Saleh, our intern, filled me in on Kylie Black because Kyle Black was on the night too. But tell me about Kylie Black, bro.
Oh my god. Is Trickster here? If Trickster is in the chat, I want to give props to the guy. Bro, we found our very own Sentinel.
Oh boy.
Okay, first of all, right. Legit, okay, when Alexis came out and then like she was, being interviewed and like they make it known that it's gonna be an open challenge. We were thinking like, oh, okay, who is gonna go on the card? Who hasn't been announced? And we were legitimately like thinking of like proper candidates. We were like, oh, what if like I don't know, like whoever from MyPW come down or from APEC or some crazy like inter-promotional thing.
Yeah.
Thank Kanina, bro. This guy comes.
Wow, bro, I never hear you swear like that before, man.
Bro, okay. First of all, right, I need to pay tribute to this one old Anne, this very sweet looking Indian auntie that was sitting like 2 rows in front of me. She was wearing a sari. Okay. I think she come down just to accompany like her grown son, I'm pretty sure, because she looked very, very old. Okay. And I'm thinking like, what is this auntie doing at a wrestling show, right?
Right.
When this Kylie Black came out, right, and started screaming, I tell you, this auntie laughed like nobody's. I think she laughs. She was so uninhibited in her laughter, right? That I'm like, wow, this lady has never seen anything funnier in her life. So, if for nothing else, right, Kylie Black, much respect to you for making that old Indian auntie very, very happy that day.
Well, there you go. Well done. Alexis Lee picked up the win. I mean, like, see. To me, when we talked about and going back to the whole, is it believable? This is believable because Kyle, he's a smaller guy, he's a skinnier guy, right? And when you match someone like him up against Alexis Lee, there's no issue of trying to sell the believability of it. It's not like it's Alexis Lee versus the Statement. Then that one, okay, like a bit like if Statement is selling any of her offense, it would look off. So this one,
no, it was perfect match.
Yeah.
Like their sizes match. They actually had a proper competitive match.
Yeah.
Like Spike Dudley having a wrestling match with Trish Stratus, right? It works. It can work.
Well, I don't know about that. Trish actually bigger size than Spike's, yeah.
That's true. Hey, you know what's another funny thing that happened during the match?
What?
You know you love local wrestling fans. They started chanting, right? Ryan's girlfriend.
What?
Ryan's
As in referee Ryan?
He was refereeing the match. So shout out to referee Ryan. So he got quite the rub lah from that match.
Hey, shout out to everybody involved, by the way, pulling double duty. I saw, even at the start of night two already, people were like looking a little bit tired. So, shout out to all of you, man. Let's move on to the next one then. Okay, this is the three-way tag team inter-brand, I guess you can call it the Forbidden Door match. Ring of Rebirth, GrappleMax, SPW.
Ooh, okay. So, like I said, like first three matches, a lot of different like selling points for each match, right? So I think this Forbidden Door match, I think it's 10 years in the making. So we had SPW's representative, really good candidates for each one. So it's not as if like one team better than the other. You know, everyone had like their best guns.
Yeah.
So we had Big Good Jack representing SPW. We also had an SPW OG in Black Arrow. I really, really like Black Arrow, by the way. Pretty cool looking dude. And then of course we got Ring of Rebirth. We had Eurasian Dragon coming out in his very heelish self.
Yeah.
I think he's lapping it up, really enjoying his heel character right now. And we have Urfi. So Urfi, I'm pretty sure he's in the chat right now. So I think that's Urfi's first also exposure in SPW. So really, really cool to have his style. And like the crowd didn't know how to react. They were like, "Oh, what's going on?" You know, just got Kylie Black and then now got Urfi. What's going on? But one thing I really love was we'll talk about it, but was his toughness like in the match. And then, bro, GrappleMax really took out the big guns, bro. They had
Smart Dave and DJ Cal.
And they had DJ Cal. And you know, we gotta put it out. You have the whole GrappleMax people behind me going crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so can you imagine the crowd being split? There were people chanting for SPW. There were people chanting for like GrappleMax. There was one person chanting for ROI. Everyone shut them down and put them. It's fucking funny. It's fucking funny.
They are the underdogs. Well, and also like, you know, Eurasian Dragon. This is actually, I haven't seen him play a heel yet. Like you've seen him several times already playing it up as a heel, right? So, I mean, I've yet to see it. I would like to because I've always known him to be a face.
Bro, think Jerry Lawler heel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, there you go.
Very theatrical. I love it. Yeah.
Let me give a shout out to Julian as well. Edison, thanks for dropping by the chat. Appreciate you. If you're in the chat, please drop by and say hi. Let us know you're here, okay?
Nice to see you, bro.
Let's jump into the next one. Okay, Big T, this is you. Falls count anywhere. Homeless Riz versus Big T. I remember when I saw the poster, I saw the graphic for this one. I was like, hey, poor thing lah. This Big T gonna literally squash Riz. So was it?
God.
A straight up beat down?
Actually, surprisingly, no, it wasn't. I think Homeless Riz showed a lot of heart, right? I mean, which is very characteristic of someone who is homeless. I think they have this will to survive.
Okay. Okay, falls count anyway. So was it like was there furniture involved?
Oh my! Of course, there was a lot of furniture, a lot of crazy weapons, a lot of use of chairs that I have no idea how they could stand after being set on by these humongous people.
Okay.
There was also one part. Homeless Riz, I think, had some of his family members at the front row. Wow, bro! The moment like this, Big T started like angling towards them, staring them down. Wow, the crowd was like, fuck you, Big T. They were so angry. They were like, you don't dare lay your hands on this person's family. Then Homeless Riz went crazy on him after that.
So, for a fellow who is homeless, how come his family never take him in?
Hey, bro, you don't know tough love, bro. Tough love.
Oh, this one called tough love. Okay. I'm just trying to see the plot holes here. Of course, Big T picks up the win here. Brutal match. Yes. Obviously, Riz fighting from below. That's the story of this one.
Correct. And I think he actually was really beloved by the crowd. Like the crowd I think the crowd really took to his gimmick lah. Let everyone understands housing pains,
Right.
paying off your HDB, very tough days, So everyone could really empathize with him. Very Singaporean gimmick I like.
Was there a BTO chant? That's all I need to know.
Oh, of course there was a BTO chant. Come on, why you even think other
BTO, I love it. Okay, Mei Suruga and The Statement versus Riho and Tajiri. This is a mixed tag match, not intergender, mixed tag, right?
Yes, correct. It was a mixed tag match. So this was the match that I was looking forward to most on the first night, right? You had like your first instance of like the superstar talent that was that was being brought in for the first time. So the one that surprised me the most, because I've never seen her perform, Mei Suruga, right? I want to hear your thoughts on the day 2 when you see her perform.
Sure.
I thought Mei Suruga was just like this blast of fresh air. She was very, very, very likable, right?
Yes.
And I think the crowd just fell in love with her. Like it's just the way she is. She's very bubbly, and I think putting her with Statement was kind of funny. because like when Statement went into the ring and did like his
Yeah.
And then this Mei Suruga damn cute beside also. Yeah. She also joined it. Fucking cute. So like much respect. I think they were a very interesting matchup. But the one that I was so interested to see, Riho post AEW like stardom and like now she's, I would consider her a legitimate star now, right?
Sure.
I mean, for her to have the North American presence, and when we watch her before she got all that glam, when she was just performing SPW and all that, you already know she was so good in terms of how smooth she was, right? And you're right, the point that you brought up, maybe in the eyes of American audience, those kind of size, like it felt a bit, I don't know, unnatural or a bit like had to really put your imagination, stretch it,
Unrealistic lah for her offense to even work against, don't even say Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, people like that.
Correct. But here in this instance, where Mei Suruga is shorter than Riho, by the way, they were amazing. It felt like freaking Io Shirai versus Asuka, bro. Like, because I think the guys, I mean Tajiri, of course, a legend, and you also brought up that he doesn't like to do anything much in the match. He also choose his time perfectly to enter the match. That's what I would say.
Hey, here's the thing, right? We've talked about it the previous time he came down when he had that match with The Statement, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's not about, and veterans will know this, it's not about how many moves you can do per minute. It's about making the best of the moves that you do, selling the moves that you do take, and telling a story. Did you hear that, Young Bucks? Yes, it's not about doing 10,000 moves all at once. Okay. Riho, Tajiri pick up the win. Did we see green mist?
Oh, come, of course. I gotta say something like you said about how Tajiri kind of lets the matches flow.
Yeah.
But we didn't just see girl on girl action, guy on guy action, bro. Like we actually saw them both interacting with each other's gender and taking moves, bro.
Big T says May got pile driven by Tajiri. Are you serious? Wow, what a bump! What a bump!
Of it. That was crazy. So yeah, they took a pile driver. I'm pretty sure we saw Statement giving Riho some crazy ass shell shock move. I can't remember what he did to her. So the two genders were fighting against each other. It wasn't like there was a lot of equality going on right there. That's all I can say lah.
Equality. Okay, who took the miss to the face though?
Okay, so the one that took the miss. A miss out of nowhere. # out of nowhere. Statement took the miss, and he took the pinfall loss as well. So
nice. Well, maybe a little payback, a little storytelling for the next day, as we will see in just a bit. But the finish involved missed.
Yes, correct. Oh, and Statement was so pissed off. I thought he's so pissed off that he chased everyone out of the ring. Like Tajiri and Riho ran out of the ring after he was shouting and throwing a tantrum. So it was a great performance overall. I think that match really helped got the crowd going.
And I think that leads into the next match. You talked about Statement losing his shit and then losing his mind. Okay, next match, Southeast Asian Championship, Ho Ho Lun versus Aiden Rex. Of course, the winner of this match would go on to the 4-way match the next night. Okay, so the match itself, we have we have a veteran in Ho Ho Lun, we have a technical wizard in Aiden Rex. Tell me about this match.
I mean, we've talked about how Ho Ho Lun, we had it on the show. We've always said that he was a good babyface. He always felt like a natural babyface. But it's interesting to see him play a heel.
Yeah.
Right? To see him play this like cocky, like veteran heel trying to test our kind of reigning champion, SPW champion Eden
Yeah.
Rex. Bro, we love Eden Rex, right?
Sure.
Like on the ring, in the mat, not on commentary, but in the mat, like he's great.
Right.
But like I think the crowd, I think after, in my opinion, after the match between like the Dream mixed tag team match, this felt like a bit of a come down.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know what I mean? But so like the two of them really had to work really, really hard to get the crowd going again.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like I think Aiden's first few title reigns. I mean, first few title matches as the new champion. So you know, SPW is trying to build up Aiden, right, in terms of his connection with the audience, because we know he's great. He's a great worker, but I think one thing he's lacking is that ability to to form this bond with the audience, because the bond seems to be formed by other people. Like everyone else is trying to help put him over.
Yep.
But he needs to be able to find that way to connect with the audience. Just beyond the cool ass moves, because he's an amazing athlete, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can like an amazing athlete, but I can't relate to him. So I think that's the thing that is kind of missing from his character, that might help get his matches more emotionally invested by the audience.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to the next night as well. But yeah, so it's like taking that skill set to the next level, right? Yes.
All right.
He already has the technical skills down in the ring. How do we bring it to the next level and form that connection with the audience? It doesn't have to be through promos. It can be through videos. It can be through telling a story, through not just the match itself, right? But just telling small little stories within, in and outside of the match. I don't know. I
think the best example is Bryan Danielson, bro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if Bryan Danielson was still ROH Bryan Danielson, he would have never been the star that he was. He added character to himself in WWE.
So it's going to be an interesting ride for him. It's still early days. He's still a very young, wrestler, young prospect, quote unquote. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Irvin says he's cutting his hair and watching the podcast at the same time. Hey, shout out to your barber. Please do a good job. No any haircut. So there you have it. That's the Southeast Asian Championship match. Of course, Aiden Rex picks up the win there. And then apparently statement came out and destroyed the Southeast Asian title because he was angry.
Yes, apparently very, very angry, angry boy.
Hammer and everything smashed the thing. So obviously that means the next night, new belt lah. I mean, if a belt's destroyed, right?
So the question is, how far did they prepare a new belt, or they had the new belt all along in mind?
Hello, of course they had. Can you imagine? Let's just go down to, I don't know, Telok Blangah, got one belt maker, man. No, right? No such thing.
Yeah, oh my God. 10-year anniversary, no belt. Yeah, that would have worked.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's go to the main event then. CDK versus the Horrors for the vacated tag team titles.
Whoa, okay. So right now, the Horrors, and we've talked briefly with Dr. Gore in our last episode, how much this match means to him, because CDK, like a dream tag team for him, like a dream opponent for him. So it's this, as statement said on the previous podcast as well, this seems it's like a thank you gift for Dr. Gore.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, because it's Chris Brooks is somebody he really, really looked up to, that he really enjoys watching. So, how was the match?
Like, I felt the emotions was very palpable in this match. I think even if you didn't care or know the connection between like Chris Brooks or Dr. Gore, right? I think they told a great story of showing it in the match. Like, I think I don't know whether Dr. Gore was like crying or like being like she was being very passionate and aggressive in his fighting. And I think Chris Brooks, I was very impressed because I never seen him work before. I thought he was good. But again, with regards to this match, how do I say this up? I wouldn't say it's like a main event worthy match.
Okay.
But I felt that it was a very personal match, right? Like, I would put Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair in like semi-main event. I won't put it as the final match because I don't want to send the crowd home like, emotionally spent. I want them to like have a great celebration. You know what I mean?
Did CDK play heel? Which I'm gonna assume because you have Butcherman and Gore, who are at this point crowd favorites, right?
Of course, and I think the crowd loved the fact that the Horrors were reunited in the course of this match. So it's a big deal for them, right? The Horrors, OG wrestling fans know about them. Like they were the biggest thing. Before Butcherman became like this huge single star, he was known as one half of the Horrors. So
correct.
Perfect. Yeah, love it. I think overall it was a very personal match. I wouldn't say it was the best match on the card. A very personal match.
Personal issues sell tickets. Let's go. All right, let's move on to night 2. Then night 2, so you had to tag out. I tagged back in, and I was there. It was packed. It was a packed house. Loved the vibe. Everybody was there to have fun. Yes.
Tell me your experience, bro. I heard like it was very hard to even get seats.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, right? Especially after the night 1 stuff, and then everyone's probably tired, and they're like, oh, crap, we have to do this all over again, right? So once again, shout out to everybody for not just pulling it through, but putting on an incredible, and I know for a lot of these guys and gals, it's an emotional night as well. So let's jump into it. So the first match, we had an open challenge. Chris Brooks comes, a tall fella, damn tall this fella, huh? And he throws out an open challenge. And who decides to accept the open challenge? Ho Ho Lun. And you talk about him playing a heel, right? Like you see him boy, babyface. And then he comes out and immediately, you can tell that he's having fun. Just playing it up. And he decides to put $20 on the line. Okay. So yeah, it's a $20 stipulation match. Like, I mean... Sure, we always talk about stakes, but like $20 as stakes. Okay, obviously he's playing up this whole comedic thing. It's fine. It works in this sort of a smaller show setting, right?
Yeah.
So
it's an indie show, right? So
it's like, okay, fine. It's something to latch onto, and at least there's stakes, even though the stakes were a bit of a joke, and that became the running joke. It's $20 is 2 beers.
Mighty say it's $15, so it's even worse than the actual amount.
Bro, $20 because at the end, Chris Brooks still got 2 beers, so it's $20, bro. $20.
Wait, I want to ask you something, bro, because one thing we didn't talk about on day 1 is the Nabe Chibwa match.
Wait, there was a Nabe Chi NBCB match, you mean?
No, there was an NBCB title change in the middle of the match.
Oh, because you're talking about Dama is the champ, and then there is a 24/7 stipulation, right? This was when Kelly Kimberly came out.
Yes, correct. So one thing we didn't mention was during the tag team match at the opening match, in the middle of the match, Kelly Kimberly came in with referee Ryan and got the pin over Dharma. So Dharma lost his title belt in the middle of the match and then chased it back after the match. Damn funny.
So he won it back at the end.
He won it back during a commercial, I think during the halftime break where Kelly Kimberly was talking in the ring. Everyone was getting their cheese and she took back the title. So I thought, I like that having happened throughout the course of the night. I think that was quite fun.
Okay, there you go. Back to day 2. So Chris Brooks picked up the win. They started off like with a brawl outside. And if you see the video that I posted on my social media, that was one of the spots where they found like a cart. And then they put Ho Ho Lun in it. They pushed him towards Chris Brooks. And Chris Brooks yeeted the chair right into his face. So off the bat, you're starting off hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how was like the crowd's connection with the both of them? Because Chris Brooks is not really SPW.
I think stalwart, right? With Ho Ho Lun playing it up, like it was very obvious immediately who was... who you're supposed to boo, he's the guy who's being a cheap bastard. Because that was the whole thing. Like, he puts up $20 on the line. Then after he started bargaining, no, $15. Like, he started backtracking. And we all know somebody like that who's like, at first he wants to talk so big, and then after that he keeps backing up. So in a lot of ways, it's like, okay, yeah, I can relate to that. And of course, Chris is like, come on, $20, man. Like, it's a very simple but effective story to tell.
Nice.
That immediately sets the stage. The match itself, it was a great match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. We're talking about 2 veterans here, so we started out hot lah. And right in front of us also, the chair spot happened.
Wow, okay, amazing. So, who got the win? Was it Ho Ho?
No, it was Chris Brooks. He got his $20. He went to get his beers.
Okay, so he enjoyed his beers. So good on you, Chris Brooks. You enjoyed those. What, Tiger beers? Hope it was Tiger beers.
No, it wasn't. It was they have a beer sponsor. The Ang Mo Liang Teh, that one. Yeah, SPW got their own beer sponsor. Right? So there you go. Okay, let's move on then. Kojio versus Dr. Gore. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
This is an interesting match because I noted this to Saleh immediately during the first half of the match. I'm like, two guys wearing masks, can't see their emotions. So that was my only sort of like slight small gripe, if you could even call it a gripe, but you know what I mean, right? That has always been the thing about masks. This is the reason Eric Bischoff told Rey Mysterio to take off the mask to his own detriment, but you get my point. And some more, Kojio's mask is a full face mask, so there's absolutely no way if I can see he's happy, he's sad, he's in pain, nothing, right?
Yeah.
And
but we've seen people like Kane and Mankind do that though.
It's different. Like even Mankind, or not Mankind, sorry, Kane, Glenn Jacobs has said before, it was hard to emote with the mask on, right? It was fine when he's just playing a like monstrous killer that shows no emotion. But once his character started developing, he had to like, remember he cut out this part here? He had that mask, so you could see his mouth at least, right? And interestingly enough, with Dr. Gore also, you know, because most wrestlers, the mask covers the nose and up. So at least you can still see the mouth. Dr. Gore is nose and below. He's wearing the surgical mask after all, right?
Yes.
So it was like, and if you're sitting further behind, I'm just like, you can't really see it in his eyes. You know, the pain and emotion, that kind of thing. You can see it in his body language, yes. But I just thought maybe it took a bit away from the match.
Okay. That's very interesting. Did you feel like the crowd was hot for like Dr. Gore? Like, was it a full babyface heel dynamic or very split?
Because we talked about, and you talked about this, like, you know, his pouring of emotions from night one. I think it showed as well in night two. The finish was like a blink and you miss finish though. I will have to say, I feel like I looked away, I looked one side and then, the match ended. I think it was a roll-up. It was a La Magistral, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of those like very sudden victories. So I wonder if, you know, the idea is to, you know, plant the seeds for a rematch or what was going on with that.
You could actually have made it like a no DQ match, or did they try to make it just a straight up match? Because I think like their characters should work as that kind of environment.
No lah. It was a straight up match, and it should have been a straight up match because the first match was already like, you know, you had cuts and you had chairs and everything. So I always say, if you're going to do that shit, do it sparingly. Don't do it every single match. If not, it's too much.
So as long as the crowd laps it up, I think it should be fine. Yeah.
Right? Dr. Gore picked up the win. Early in the match, his mask, you know, the strap started coming off. I don't know how he keeps that damn thing on, but don't know he super glued the mask onto his mouth or what.
Bro, he got the strength, right? The power of a diva who trying to survive a wardrobe malfunction, bro.
The tiny little dress just holding on to the nip for dear life.
Bro, I don't know how people like Tori Wilson that does it, you know, like freaking Sable, they've managed to do it, bro. They can wrestle in the most scantily clad stuff and somehow it all stays on. So credits to Dr. Gore for being able to do the same thing.
They call it nipple tape. Maybe he got the nipple tape on his mouth. Anyway, let's move on. Dama is in the chat, by the way. He just arrived. He says he's starting from the beginning. So when you hear us say your name, Dama, then you know how far off you are in terms of the timing. No worries. Thanks for being here, though. We appreciate it. Let's move on. And speaking of Dama, the man himself, Big Good Jack versus Destroyer Dama. So much beef. I love the beef in this match.
Yeah, man. I mean, Dharma should stay on this live chat right now so you can hear us talk about it.
I know, right? But I guess you'll catch it half an hour later. But okay, this is a horse fight. Have we seen these two go at it before? We have, right?
Yes, we've seen them fight over the SPW Singapore Championship before. Remember?
Yeah.
And we've also seen like Dharma take him to the limit when he wasn't like that. He was more green of a wrestler. He became better with fighting against Big Good Jack.
Right. So Big Good Jack, Dharma, I can't remember if this was for the NBCB title, but there was definitely NBCB title shenanigans in between. So you had, what was that guy, the NBCB, they have a mascot wrestler also.
Was it? I didn't know.
Yeah,
no, I didn't know.
Meta also, the wrestler Meta, he also came out and tried to win the title. They brought out a different referee. There was a fight between two refs, Sodik and referee Ryan, because Sodik is the original ref, and then ref Ryan was dragged in, and then Sodik said, "Hey, I'm the official ref," and they had words, and it was
chaos. Was it
chaos? Yes, as a 24/7-esque title should be, I guess. The match was big power moves, and I've always said this: when these two do big power moves to each other, when that amount of beef is hitting the mat, it looks good. It looks impressive.
Yeah. The shuddering, echoing sound of them taking bumps here. I can imagine.
I mean, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't the smoothest match, but I think with two big guys, it shouldn't look too smooth anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be dirty and grungy and a lot of mountains moving,
Two mountains crashing into each other. The immovable object versus what's the old saying? The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Yes. Yeah. So this is kind of what it was like.
Was the crowd really into this?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like one thing I need to say is Dharma, I know we have talked about how much he has improved a lot in the ring. But can we also give credit to Big Good Jack? Because I think Big Good Jack is really SPW's next breakout star. I feel he can reach the level of Butcher Man. He can be that super athletic big guy for SPW. And he's still young, bro. He's still in his early 20s. So such a great future for him.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the sound of thunder in the background, but I think it's going to pour, people. So get oh, we got spam in the chat. You know what that means?
We got good views then.
Okay, let's move on. First of all, we got Trickster and Bryson Blade versus Terry Diesel and Shivam. Okay. Terry Diesel and Shivam, of course. Interestingly enough, they were on opposing sides the night one, right?
Yes. Sweet. Terry Diesel and Shivam were on opposing sides, so now they were teaming up together.
Yeah. What is the deal with that? Huh? What is frenemies or what?
I don't know, but they definitely were acting like enemies on the first night. So I'm assuming that they're just representing their promotion.
Right. So yeah, this is like a setup versus SPW match lah. I was about to say, unfortunately, representing SPW, but I don't want to shade on Carl Black and Bryson Blade quite like that. I mean, they tried, okay?
They tried.
But look at them. I mean, look at setup. Look at the two setup boys. You know what I'm saying?
Bryson Blade looks badass, bro. He look like freaking Winter Soldier, but a skinnier version.
Bro, his nickname is the Edgelord. I can't help but giggle when they call him the Edgelord. I get it, and he looks like one.
Oh my god, Edgelord, allow you all are.
That being said, the story that was being told made sense, right? At the end of the day, it's like these two guys just basically getting bullied by the two setup boys.
Yeah. Did Trickster bring out the fire glove or not?
No, there was no fire glove. There was some magical shenanigans. There were card tricks. There was one spot in the match was quite funny. I forget who it was. I think was it a Terry Diesel? Somebody in the match, one of the opponents was impressed by the magic trick. And that was the distraction that was needed, So cute little things like that make sense in the context of, yes, Carl Black is a magician. He needs to do tricks to get a head up on the opponent because, he's tiny lah.
And give chance. Okay. I'm happy that they survived the match. Not necessarily have to win, they just have to survive. So
Exactly, right? Okay, so let's switch to the next one. Hang on a second. The next match, the Singapore Championship Eliminator match. Okay, this is a very special match. Butcherman, Big T, and Black Arrow.
Okay, so we just talked about how much I like Black Arrow on the first night. He was amazing, he was a daredevil kind of character. But how was him fighting in the middle of these two bigger size guys?
Sorry, how was who? Black Arrow?
Yes, Black Arrow.
I mean,
tell me about your experience about the match then. Overall.
Because interestingly enough, we had two fan favorites, right? In Black Arrow, the OG, Butcherman, hugely over, and of course, I know Big T's here lah, but he's changed his demeanor a little bit. He's getting the booze. He's not exactly a fan favorite anymore.
Bro, Big T literally had the Viscera storyline, bro. He went from the lovable love machine to the ECW Eater of Worlds Viscera. Remember the one with Matt Striker?
Bro, did you say Eater of Worlds? Did you just compare Viscera to The Fiend?
No,
Bray Wyatt?
Viscera had that nickname first. If
really?
You remember. Yeah, like during the time when he was in ECW.
Wait. You're telling me that Viscera was also known as the Eater of Worlds? I did not know this, bro.
No, so like so some of the comments that Joey Star said that he was a planet-eating Eater of Worlds. So I think they wanted to reference who or not? They wanted to reference Galactus.
Right, the Marvel character Galactus.
Yeah, but like he was so huge that he looked like he is like freaking swallowing a planet every time he walked. So
okay. Anyway, yeah, the match itself, I was surprised that Big T was the first one eliminated. But then as the match progressed and when they finished the match, I understood why. Because I think what they wanted was to have that moment between Butcherman and Black Arrow. Because I don't know if you knew this, but Black Arrow picked up the victory. So he's your new Singapore champion.
Amazing.
And, the post-match was actually what stood out to me the most, because in a lot of ways, this is them sort of saying thank you to an OG. You talked about Black Arrow being an OG, right? And then, I don't know if you knew this as well, but Butchman brought this up that, he was super, not just inspired by Black Arrow, but, very happy to have, not happy to have lost, but like if anybody were to have won the championship, it was to be Black Arrow, because not only is he a champion, he's a survivor of cancer as well. So it was
he said it on the mic.
He said it on the mic. Yeah, so it was a very emotional moment that I think brought the crowd to tears. It was a fantastic moment, and in a lot of ways, it's to thank the OGs for the road that they have paved.
I hope there was a standing ovation when he said that, man. Like I think,
yeah.
I mean, the story of Black Arrow having his like medical issues and all that, like it wasn't really public knowledge.
Nope.
Everyone just knew it as like, Black Arrow started out in SPW, was one of the OGs, and then he took a long break.
Yeah.
And then I remember he came back. Like only recently, I think only he came back this year, bro. Like when everything reopened and he had like a one match, like a return match, homecoming match, and like the ones who knew, like they were super like happy for him, and he's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
he freaking like do dives and like freaking like jumping off here, and then, like he doesn't give a shit. So like that's why I say I love him in terms of how he works, in terms of his fighting spirit, and I think no one is more deserving to be a champion in SPW than Black Arrow. So I think that I wish I was there for that amazing moment.
Well, there you go. And he's now the Singapore champion. Okay, let's move on to the Queen of Asia Championship. Mei Suruga versus Riho versus Alexis Lee.
All right. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about your thoughts on this match.
First of all, the tallest person in this match is Alexis Lee. Which was kind of crazy if you think about it, right? But I mean, that aside, I enjoyed the hell out of the match. To see Alexis Lee, who's like quote unquote the Singapore hit girl, and she's supposed to be representing SPW, play heel, it made sense, I guess, because the two Japanese wrestlers are both like cute, and I can't see them working heel, so it had to fall on Alexis to play the heel, and she was flipping off the crowd non-stop,
Nice.
I was like, why? What happened?
She's channeling her inner hit girl, bro.
Yeah, her inner angst all coming out. No, I was like, wow. So, okay, you really want to know what I thought about Mei and Riho, right?
Yes.
Like I said earlier, it works in the context of this match. They're all commensurate size. Nobody looks way more dominant than the other because of size or strength or weight difference, right? So, of course, they're going to have a competitive match. They do the high-flying, fast-paced, cruiserweight style, flashy moves. Yes, because they're light. So they need to do these moves. I mean, we can buy into it, so to generate more impact, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's just specific to the region? Do you think that this style works in Asian context? And that's why it doesn't necessarily translate well in the North American audience?
Wait. So here's the thing. It can translate to the North American audience because they are smaller size people in North America. It just doesn't make sense when you put Riho up against Britt Baker, up against Jamie Hayter, and you see Jamie Hayter selling for Riho. Then it looks like, this looks like shit.
Okay.
See, like, was Rey Mysterio freaking doing arm bars to Great Khali and putting Khali in predicaments. No. It was always Rey Mysterio somehow finding a way, like he's losing, he's getting beat up 90% of the match. But that 10%, 1%, somehow he figured out a way to do it. And he's not doing head scissors to Khali. Khali should just stand there. He do the head scissors, nothing happened. You know?
I get what you mean. So like, it's a bit unbelievable if like someone like Jamie Hater or what, like keep selling.
Yeah.
They should be dominating like the likes of Riho, and like Riho should need to be fighting for underneath lah.
Yeah. It's about the story that they tell, and that story doesn't make sense. Whereas here, it makes perfect sense, and they're enjoyable to watch because it's fun action, almost like video gamey action. They're doing flips and cartwheels and whatnot. So yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah. There was this one sequence that I captured, right, when like they were kind of like whipping each other into the rope, and they were like countering, and then they kind of did like a reverse roll up, and like. One thing that I really like that Riho does it, like when she reverses into the roll up, then instead of like going for the pin, she will stand up and straight away do like a jumping stomp, like a Finn Balor stomp. Did she do something like that? Because I thought that was the fucking cool and smooth, man.
There was one spot that was cool. Was I think Alexis got like a crossbody, but the two Japanese girls were facing opposite ways, and then they both like matrixed out. You know what I mean?
Oh, dope. So yeah, okay.
That was cool. All right, Alexis Lee is your new Queen of Asia champion, and she has 2 belts. So I guess you could call her Alexis 2 belts. Actually, our intern, Saleh, got to chat with Alexis, and this is the report he filed. Check it out.
All right, so Alexis Lee, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling fantastic, bro. I finally became the new and rightful Queen of Asia. I mean, look at this baby right here. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this sexy little thing. Yeah. Now I am back again. Once again. The champ.
Champ.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to become champ? So hard.
Alexis 2 belts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it 3 belts.
Oof.
Let's make it 3 belts. Let's make it 5 belts. Let's make it all around the world. Belt collector again.
Ooh. Will that be your future?
I need some new tricks up my sleeve, right? Like if I got to keep everything. I shouldn't be too greedy, like traveling is already like, pricey enough with all my fancy clothes and my fancy tattoos. Like I don't need more weight. Like you know how heavy every single championship belt is? It weighs so much. And then I try it more and more. Okay, technically I could do it. I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. I'll be the champion of the fucking world. Who knows?
Alright, like for real, like you're taking part in this 10-year anniversary. Like how are you feeling like about the whole thing and everything?
I'm emotional, man. This title is 9 years in the making. From the very first day I stepped in the ring. Like, as the first ever female pro wrestler in Singapore. All the way to the birth of this title. It's basically meant for me. Without Alexis frigging Lee, there is no Queen of Asia Championship, right? So I'm all sorts of emotions, Like this is what I came into pro wrestling for. This is what made me want to become a pro wrestler. To make my mark, to build my name. And now I stand before you, not only just champion of another promotion, but finally in my home ground, I am now your new Queen of Asia. And this calls for a celebration, yeah?
Darren, stop it. Darren's like drunken Queen of Asia. Hey, man, she's allowed to party. She just won the title. 2 matches, 2 nights in a row, okay? So, yeah. Once again, congratulations to Alexis Lee and, of course, Saleh over there, our resident Byron Sexton.
Yes, I love it. He very. I like the fact that Salah is very innocent, so it just makes the wrestlers look even more larger than life. So
I know.
good job, good job. You know what? I think we have to give Alexis her flowers as well, right? If I think she's been there from the start, like she's definitely one of the early generation SPW wrestlers, and she's been there all 10 years. And we haven't even seen any equivalent to Alexis. Like we've had some female wrestlers join, come and go, but no one has kind of had the resume and like the persistence and like resilience of Alexis to still do so well and thrive in this industry after 10 years. So man, who else is gonna take her down, man, going forward?
Bro, I tell you who. I have somebody in my sights that's going to be a top contender for Alexis Lee and her titles. Guy Lee Black. Lee Black. All right, let's move on.
Ryan's girlfriend.
Right, okay. Let's go to the main event, and after that we will hear from Butcherman and Shivam as well, with our, Byron Saxton. This is for the Southeast Asian Championship. Tajiri versus Masa Takanashi versus Statement versus Aiden Rex.
Wow. So wait, who's having the title on the line?
Aiden, because Aiden was the champion, but remember, he comes in with no actual physical belt because Statement destroyed the belt.
Okay. So, got it.
It was interesting, and I mentioned to you, right? Like, I believe 60% of the match, Tajiri was chilling out in the front row with people. So whoever bought or whoever got those seats, Shok only got to hang out with Tajiri most of the match.
Oh, so he's just chilling. He's also watching the match, lah.
Yeah, he was. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like from a veteran standpoint, it makes sense. Let all these young bucks fight each other first. You just chill one corner and then come in and do your moves, right?
I love it. I mean, playing smart, like, come on, give him some props.
Yes. And I mean, it's a four-way, so you have your I don't want to say standard, but you have your moments where two people spill out and then you have the spotlight on two. And then sometimes you have three ways. People do the big top rope moves onto a crowd, that kind of stuff. So what was interesting was, I noticed this, Tajiri, when he came out, he immediately spit the green mist already. So I was like, are we not going to see the green mist, or does he have a second dose of venom in him? Well, I don't know if you saw the finish. And yeah, we got to see the greatest hits of Tajiri. We saw the tarantula, buzzsaw kicks, that kind of stuff like that. But going back to the finish from the first night where Statement took the green mist to the face, right? Yeah. This time around, as Tajiri was like lifting Statement up for a flapjack or whatever it was, Statement blew red mist into Tajiri's face. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Statement got some venom as well?
Yeah, he got some venom of his carnage. He got the carnage, not the venom, right? So I was like, here's the thing with red mist though. Red mist looks like blood.
Yeah.
So, if you see the video I posted on my social, it looks like he was bleeding from the mouth, but no, that was red mist.
Oh, okay. That makes. I thought it was like a hard-hitting match or something happened.
No. Tajiri literally lifted him up, and he like, I was like, whoa, what the hell? I tried to zoom in as much as I possibly. I caught it on video, which was great, right? So yeah, he wins with. I mean, he didn't win. Sorry, he blew the red mist. Darren says he inherited the poison gland.
Okay, but this is so cool. Like, so remember we had this conversation about like the different tiers of mist.
Yes.
So like, right, red tier is what?
I don't know. Actually, we need to, because there is if you guys didn't know, right, in wrestling law, different color mist means different thing. Black means like
one is like blinding.
No. Black is the one that Malachi Black does. If you spit black mist, means you miss all the time. You can't fucking hit.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how true is that, but sure.
I don't know. Red is supposed to burn or something like that, I guess, Then there's blue mist, but whatever. Actually, recently, I think Asuka on Raw spat blue mist.
I saw that, I believe. But she's always been a green mister.
Yeah, I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Anyway, we're not going to dive into that now. But the finish came with Aiden. So he pulls out his... I forget what his top rope finisher is already.
Was it not a shooting star? No.
I believe so. I just remember it being a thing of beauty. You know those moments in wrestling where instead of filming, you're like, I was busy doing But he didn't get the win there, so he slapped on his submission like an armbar, and and statement tap. I
Still the champion, huh?
I was surprised, like just like you. I'm surprised. Like, okay, so this obviously is a big like signal to the world, right? That okay, we want to. Even though statement, I thought statement would win because like SPW is kind of like his baby, right? And who better to represent at the 10th anniversary than statement himself? But no, it's like a passing of the torch moment.
Okay,
It really felt like that.
Okay, and you know we love his wrestling abilities. The fact that he did transition like a top rope move into a submission, that is like trademark Aiden Rack. So I'm glad he got a victory. But I saw that he did some sort of post match promo or something.
So they handed him the mic. You know, he did a little bit of a promo, thanked the fans obviously, and then he did pass the mic over to the Statement, who cut a very emotional promo. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, he was there from day one, right? Statement. So it makes sense for him to kind of wrap things up. There was an SPW chant. He got everybody into the ring. It was a big emotional moment as well.
Nice. I mean, those are those best things about pro wrestling, right? Where you have everyone together. I saw a bit of snippet of it, of the moment that you managed to film a bit of it. What's your thoughts overall on like the night itself, like the occasion? Like, do you think it was like a fitting celebration of SPW?
I think so. I think the fans came out in full force. You know, there were a lot of emotional moments, matches, as opposed to storyline progression matches, which was, you know, I mean, it fit the moment line. At the end of the day, wrestling is about moments, right? It's not.
So it felt like a one night stand where it was like a showcase of the matches as opposed to storyline driven.
Yeah, it was. So I enjoyed myself.
I realized we never say one thing. What happened to the belt there? So now the belt is destroyed. Did they present a new belt?
Yes. So at the end, they presented Aiden with a new belt. It's pretty. It's very, very pretty. So
I haven't seen it yet, though. Has it come out on socials yet?
I don't think they posted it on. I'm sure you can find a picture in their Facebook page, SPW's Facebook page, where they show Aiden holding the title, right?
Okay.
But yeah, personally, I haven't seen it up close yet. So, hint, SPW, please post pictures of your new title because it looks good. And obviously, you all spend money on it. So please, show everybody.
So, all our local promotions all sparing no expense, debuting new titles. I mean, well, I can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait to see it.
One's a 10-year anniversary, another one is their first ever title. So, of course, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, there you go. Okay, there is our take on the SPW X Anniversary show. Thanks for having us there, by the way, Statement and everybody in SPW. Well done. Kudos to you all. Yeah. Please rest up for the next event. I'm sure 2023 will be fantastic as well, going into year 11. But that being said, okay, we have to very quickly review Survivor Series as well, and then still to come, we're going to preview GrappleMax's event that's happening this Saturday. It's Gold Standard, the final. We will have the man himself, and Boss Gregory, as well as Christian, who we've wanted to get on the podcast for a very long time. We'll chat about what's going to happen, preview that very event. And of course, if you are going down, we will see you there. Please come and say hi to your podcast boys. I'd be remiss not to mention that we also have a party that's happening December the 11th. The details are on our social media pages, but suffice it to say, after how many years has it been? 4 seasons, 5 seasons?
5 seasons, 6 years, 4 years.
4 years. After 5 seasons of talking pro wrestling, we want to hang out with you. We want to makan pizza. We want to play games, give away prizes, and just have a good old time. It's happening December the 11th in the afternoon. So if you want to get tickets and join us, it's only $20. Food is provided. And, just slide into our DMs on Instagram, or if you're on our Discord already, send us a direct message. We'll let you know how you can get your ticket lah.
Awesome. And of course, you guys are all wrestlers are welcome. All wrestling listeners are welcome. You just want to come out and like show some pizza also, you're also welcome. You want to play pool? Don't have anything to do with wrestling, just want to play pool there? Yes, please. You just go one corner, go play your pool.
Sure.
It's all good.
In the meantime, okay, let's talk about WWE Survivor Series. Basically a two-match card.
Wait. Are we showing any more footage from SPW to wrap up the day?
Right, yeah. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. How can we forget our friends? First of all, yes, Shivam, Saleh caught up. Byron Sexton.
Correct, aka Bollywood Daddy. So
Bollywood Daddy. Byron Sexton caught up with him in the lobby area. I don't know, he must have like chased him down or what, but here we go.
Okay.
My name is Shivam. I'm from Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling, and I am currently AWGC Junior Heavyweight Champion.
So how are you feeling right now?
Pretty cool. Actually, this is my second time officially back in Singapore. I always love wrestling in Singapore. The crowd is hot. Fans was like ready to cheer, and I loved it. And tonight was really special. I am a bad guy tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm glad people love it, people dig it, and I hope I kind of elevate those young boys up a little bit. And I hope I did that. I'm trying to be humble here, but like my future goal, I'm trying to make it into the big league. Whether it's AEW, whether it's WWE, I'm trying, and my ultimate goal is to be world champion. That's it. Please come out and support local wrestling. This is the thing that you guys can help. And hell, like one of you guys already made it to WWE. Who knows if you guys like come and support each other? I think like we can go very, very, very far as a Singaporean and as Southeast Asia as a whole.
Okay, so I mean, you see the guy in the ring. He looks badass, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes across like the nicest guy in the hill. Yeah. I'm like, a bit salah.
Hey bro, my brain a bit like explode. You know why?
Why?
He's a Indian looking guy and he has the most Thai English accent I've ever.
Yes. And like a lot of things don't match. You know what I mean? His badass vibe. But then he like smiling and like being nice. And I was like, whoa, what? My brain is still trying to reconcile this scene.
Honestly, actually, I love it. It's quite cute. So, oh my god, set out. If I ever go down to Bangkok, I gotta check out like their promotion there live, man. So hopefully, Shivam, I hope you enjoyed your time in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Please extend your invitation. We would love to come and visit and show wrestling. What wrestling is all about in Thailand,
bro. Kick to that road trip to Thailand.
Oh my god,
let's go.
Sign permission form from our partners first, bro.
I think so. Y'all go Thailand for what? Bangkok,
two boys go Bangkok. What you all do?
No, we bring our other halves. They can do the shopping, all that. We're going to watch wrestling lah. Yeah. Okay, let's hear from Butcherman now. Yes, we send our intern Saleh to go confront the flesh-eating Butcherman himself. Here's what happened.
All right, Butcherman, how are you feeling right now?
I lost my Sylvia, but I still have my Clevie. And it depends on what do you say. Are you a butcher maniac?
I am.
Yes, then I have you too.
Makan time. Alright, but for real, how you feeling like, after taking part, like, the 10-year anniversary, like how you feeling?
I always knew that SPW could last for 10 years. But what I also know is that if we continue to fuel our fire and passion with all the fans that come to watch us, we will last for millions and millions of years. Sylvia holds a very special place in my heart. But maybe I'm coming for the SPW Southeast Asia Championship. I will be happy. Clevie will be happy. Are you still a butcher maniac?
Yes, I am.
Then my butcher maniac here will be happy too.
Okay, according to my report, Saleh did in fact pee himself a little bit during.
Okay. We are happy to report he's still alive.
Yes, and not maybe he gonna nibble a bit, but he's fine. I'm begging him though to please put the school bag down when interviewing wrestler. Bro, dude, freaking boy with the school bag and everything. He looks like he got his homework.
Bro, he cosplaying Orange Cassidy lah. Let him be. It's fine. It's fine. You let the Gen Zs do the Gen Z things, man.
Okay, well, there you go. Big shout out to our resident Byron Saxon over there. Thank you very much, Saleh, for that lovely
Show him some
video.
love. Show him some love.
Yeah.
Butcher Man aiming for the main one, the big title.
The big one. Okay, well, I mean, it fits. It makes sense. Butcherman versus Aiden Rax. I'm all for that. Okay, now let's talk about Survivor Series, a card that, let's face it, really is a 2-match card, wasn't it?
And I'm fine with that because the two matches, it's war game.
Sure. War game. All right, let's kick things off. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, Becky Lynch versus Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. Were you feeling Rhea Ripley's look? Like, what is going on, huh? Like, some weird painted sideburns. Like, I was like, what's going on here? I don't know about this.
I wasn't really feeling her look. I think wasn't really enamored, I guess. But one thing I gotta say though, like Becky Lynch returning in this match as opposed to other wrestlers that we thought would be appearing. What do you think about that?
I was surprised, and honestly, I was a little bit like, I don't want to say let down because it's still Becky Lynch, right?
Right, yeah.
But it almost feels like she needed to be away a little bit longer, like maybe Royal Rumble. You know what I mean?
And do you feel like the one that we all wanted, the fact that she didn't appear, kind of affected the vibe of the match, or was it still okay?
I think it did. So maybe this just means she returns at the Rumble, which will, be a big surprise. So it's a nice return then. I guess the more you make us wait for it, the more we'll want it, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But as a match itself, right, I feel like one of the main differences between this match and the main event was that this was really spot fest, in my opinion.
So, this was spot fest. The Bloodline had a great storyline going it, thanks to one man, Sami Zayn. But we'll get to that in just a bit. This entire PLE felt like a black and gold NXT era show. That did it not?
Really?
Like, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, it just feels like I'm watching black and gold NXT. And, while some of it, it's always above midline, those shows. And I thought this was definitely above midline. There was nothing that was crap, but also at the same time, there's a lot to love.
Yeah, I kind of really like a lot of the subplots that was happening throughout the match, right?
Sure.
Like, we had Asuka and Io fighting each other. Correct. We also had Nikki Cross and Alexa, having that shared history, I think, which was amazing. I think Nikki Cross wanted to exact some revenge on Alexa for doing what she did. Of course, and we also have Bianca and Becky, former enemies turned allies, trying to fight off the bad girls, right? And of course, Rhea Ripley being a badass. So a lot of threats happening.
To me, I wish that they gave more shine to Mia Yim because everybody else in this match is already established. Mia Yim not so. Okay. And I didn't feel like she got much of a shine. I don't know if they didn't give her an opportunity or to shine, or maybe she just didn't. I thought Alexa Bliss was very forgettable in this match as well. And you know how much we love Alexa Bliss. So I was like, wow, if anybody in this entire group needs to rehab, it's Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I think we've talked about how Alexa Bliss, ever since she came back, I thought they were going to bring back the goddess, but she's in this weird in-between, and that just doesn't make her appealing at all. Mia Yim, one thing, even though she didn't shine as much as I thought she would, but in the moments that she had the shine on her, she was really good. I thought she came across badass, and her fighting against Rhea, I felt I was hyped for it.
Here's the problem. She wants to be badass, right? But there's already somebody in there who's the most badass. And you're just going to look second. We're talking about Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley looks the most badass by far. So what is Mia Yim's angle? Even back in NXT when, she was the Asian, or the Blasian baddie or whatever the hell that means, right?
Head bitch in charge.
HBIC. I'm like, what do you do that makes you the be in charge, And I've always said this, your ethnicity is not a character trait. I hate it when it becomes, they try to sell it as a character trait. It's not.
they were trying to present her as like a Rhea's equal, but the problem is you can present Goldberg as Lesnar's equal, even though you never see Goldberg for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he already had the cachet.
Yeah.
But before Mia Yim left, she was what? Retribution.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was forgettable, right? And it doesn't help that she basically was slot into a feud that was kind of meh to begin with already. Like, you know, with Judgment Day and OC. And we've talked about how OC is just such a tired group. And then you go and stick Mia Yim into a group that's not hot. Doesn't do her any good.
yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it's not as if it's like Rhea like breathing new life into Judgment Day. It's
Exactly.
it is what it is. But I think overall the match was okay. I wouldn't say it was the best women's war games match that we've ever seen. Shout out to Becky Lynch for returning after a few months and already doing like freaking leg drops off the top of the cage.
Yep. But
she's just cool.
You know, and I think I mentioned this to you the other day, right? After watching so much AEW, and every other week some jabroni is flying off something. They got frigging tables, ladders, and everything everywhere.
Yep.
Now they've watered it down so much so that when Becky did that leg drop, I was like, oh, okay, lah. Like, you know what I mean? And hopefully the crowd there, maybe, I don't know how many % actually also watch AEW, but if they don't, that would probably still have been a moment. To me, it was like, because I watch AEW, and not saying it's a good thing, I think it's a bad thing. They shouldn't be taking so much risk and hurting their bodies and diluting the product, right? It does nobody any good. Instead of telling story, okay, this has become another AEW critique.
No, let's keep to the conversation.
Yes, I agree with you.
That the match was okay.
It was okay. It's not the best women's War Games match I've ever seen. That will have to go to one of the NXT ones. So, let's move on. Yeah.
But one last thing I wanted to say, bro. What do you think of damage control now? Have they been damaged?
I don't know how they were hot to begin, and we know Bailey can work on the mic, but for whatever reason, it's just Io and Dakota are not. They don't gel. They don't seem like a team.
Okay. They're not there yet.
Even
though they are the champions, even though they are women's tag team champions.
Yeah, they're the champions of a division that don't matter, that doesn't exist. So it means nothing at all. So, and
exactly.
I feel bad for people like Nikki Cross because she comes out with absolutely no crowd reaction whatsoever. It's very telling when they announce all of them, right? It's like, oh, Damage Control, some pop. Rhea Ripley, huge pop, boos, right? Nikki Cross,
whatever,
crickets. So they need to involve her in some kind of, I know who did it type storyline, which she, you know what I'm talking about, lah. The
Velveteen. She excelled in that during the NXT,
yeah. So they need to start involving her in storylines like that and not assume that we remember that Nikki, because the crowd doesn't. As much because we are diehards, we watch all the products, so we know Twisted Sister, stuff like that. This current audience does not. So
at the end of the day, I feel like the women's division is as stacked as it ever could.
Yep.
So now they are suffering from the opposite problem of AEW, where they have too much talent and they need to have good storylines for all of them.
First thing to do is get the title off Bianca. Anyway, let's move on. Different story for a different day. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Look, there's no way AJ Styles is going to take another loss. Literally every match these factions have had has been Judgment Day coming out on top. So of course AJ Styles is going to win here, finally, right?
Yeah. Honestly, this felt like an NXT takeover level match, like a one-on-one match. I thought this was actually the best both of them has looked in WWE in a long time. I don't know whether you felt the same way.
Yes, I did. But did you feel emotionally invested in the match?
I feel emotionally invested knowing both of their histories.
Sure.
If I was like a guy who had nothing about them and just watched them from WWE, I probably wouldn't care. Just like a normal match.
But you see that's my point, right? Going, even though I kind of know about their history, New Japan, Bullet Club, all that shit. To me, I didn't live it. I didn't watch it. I didn't get involved in the hype. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever lah. These two great workers doing what they do. But storyline wise, I was like, okay, this feud has been dragged on way too long anyway. So yeah,
It was hard. I think I understand as well, because if you didn't follow the history, and I wasn't like a super huge New Japan fan. Maybe if I was like a huge New Japan fan, I was like, oh my god, like this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I remember their match from 5 years ago. Do you remember TLC 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that match was really like a great showcase. I think that time both of them were still quite hot. And Finn won that match. And now this was like a random feud that came out of nowhere, and AJ Styles won that match. I'm just saying, if they have nothing to do going into WrestleMania, do the rubber match at WrestleMania and really tell us about the history, make us care.
The problem is they can't, because they can't show footage from New Japan, so they can.
Haven't like Shinsuke been doing stuff in Japan recently? Like agreed to stuff?
Is it with New Japan or with another promotion? I believe
no, it's not New Japan. It's
yeah. So I don't know about that, and it's okay lah. It's one of those matches you cater to a certain crowd, and everybody else just watch it for a match. And it doesn't help that it's the match right after Hell in a Cell, where everyone's after 40 minutes. After 40 minutes of all that action, they're probably taking a toilet break.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But
I feel like they were kind of done dirty actually being put in that slot.
They should have put Ronda versus Shotzi in this spot.
Yeah. See, here's the problem, and we're gonna move on to the next match, right? Ronda is still a big name, no matter what you want to say. Even if the match was the shits, which it was, Ronda versus Shotzi beat her flat, cold as ice. This was a wet fart, man. Like subbed her. Like honestly, I hope they do something else with Ronda.
They literally took out Liv Morgan and replaced it with another same story, same character, underdog, babyface. Yeah. But actually, right, the difference is Liv Morgan was actually building up some sort of momentum, after she became crazy and turned heel.
Yeah, there was some sort of support for Liv. Yeah. Shotzi is like, she drops a tank.
Out of nowhere,
No.
Inserted.
And then also they're running this whole like Ronda and Shayna, like, best buddies, bullies. Yeah. I don't know where this is going. At this point, I don't even know if they could turn either one, because it might not even work, because it's so like pointless.
Yeah, I honestly I don't care about Ronda, but the only way to salvage her is we have to do a Ronda Shayna feud, I guess. But I don't think if it's even good enough to go to WrestleMania. It's probably just like a Royal Rumble feud now. Yeah,
and what does it mean for like who can challenge her next? Sasha Banks? Sasha wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Ronda Rousey, maybe?
Do you feel like Ronda only works well when she has someone to carry her to a good match?
Yeah, of course.
She can't carry people right now.
No. And Shotzi, I've said this so many times, Shotzi feels incomplete. I feel like she needs to go back to NXT to finish up
school like that.
like I don't know how she got jump started. Maybe you know what I feel like they think she is? They think she's one of those like big production level characters because she's loud, green hair with the tank and everything, right? So she might be a character that works. It's okay, you know what? Like it's like Elias. I think Elias was annoying in NXT, but when Elias became the Walk with Elias character on the main Raw or main roster, it clicked. It worked.
Okay. Yeah, some people just work better in a bigger stage. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, let's move on then. Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley. Okay, slowly Seth is like turning face, but he's still heelish. So it's very interesting, like where they have, like he's a tweener, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, he has already, I think, transcended heel and face. Like people just love him no matter what. And he is clearly playing the face in this scenario here.
Yeah, because you got Bobby Lashley, who's a heel. You got Austin Theory, who's, well, obviously a heel here, right? Do you think hitting the hard reset, and this is the hardest of hard resets, my God, they made him lose every match, lose the money in the bank, and they're like, okay, this is how we rebuild you, right? Give you an edge. No more selfie taking. He wins the US title.
Honestly, I think at first when it happened, we were shocked, right? Like, oh my God, like he's gonna get buried. But I think in hindsight, I think this is the best move for him.
Yeah.
Just to get away from all that nonsense and really take him serious. I think it was like Randy Orton, like when Randy Orton had that crazy ass match with Mick Foley where he took the thumbtack bump, like suddenly everyone took him seriously.
Right. So this is quote unquote his moment. There were some really cool spots, like the one where Seth bounced off Austin Theory's back to stomp. It's like a double stomp.
Yeah, he like playing temple run like that.
Toing, and then stop. I thought that was a pretty cool spot. Yeah.
That was damn dope. I really like Bobby Lashley trying to hurt both of them together. I think quite funny.
Yeah. That was
a cool
damn cool. Let me say hello to Muhammad Daniel and Fias who are in the chat. What's up, boys? How we doing?
What's up? We are going strong. 1 hour 40 minutes. We still got new people coming in. Respect.
Oh my
guys.
gosh, yes. Okay, so Austin Theory winning the US title, probably I would agree with that booking, like best for business. Let him carry the title for a little while. Maybe feud with Seth and Bobby moving forward. So he can have matches with both guys, right?
Do you think that the US title has been elevated, that it's worthy of being a main event title on Raw right now?
I think so. I think that it is important they do that because both the main titles are held up by one Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And I think Seth did a great job like elevating the title. And I have a lot of faith in Austin Theory being this like heel US champion, carry it all the way to WrestleMania. So maybe this is his level right now.
Yeah, maybe. And he could, he could have that breakout match like John Cena versus Big Show. You remember that match?
Yeah, from WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, he opened the show and the pop he got, was it New York City? It was huge.
Yeah, it was amazing. This was like 1 year before everyone turned on Cena. So it was interesting to see.
But you get my point. You see the parallels here, right?
Yeah, like, for sure. Austin is already at that spot, right? Even though maybe he was pushed a bit earlier than he should have been. But I think slowly he is trying to prove everyone that he can. He has it in him to be a star in the future.
That's the history of Austin Theory. He gets early push and then flop. And then go back to NXT and then push again and then lose the money in the bank because Vince McMahon left. So this guy, Okay.
No one can argue his tenacity. At least that's that, right?
No. Let's move on to the main event. And my God, just when you thought, remember, we were like, okay, this bloodline thing needs some jolt, some injection of life. It's starting to get a little bit moldy. Sami Zayn.
Fucking Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and not only did he make the bloodline segments must-watch, funny, humorous, but they were smart enough to capitalize on it in a way where when it's serious, okay, now it's serious, right? The SmackDown before, there was that whole thing where Kevin Owens talking shit to Sami Zayn, and then you had Jey Uso in the room, like you see hiding, like listening, eavesdropping. I was like, okay, like, you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Like, at the end of the day, it's still a TV show, right?
It's crazy because I think the great thing is we have really great wrestling minds involved. We have Sami Zayn, we have Paul Heyman, we have Roman Reigns, we have Triple H. I think everyone is helping to make this storyline, to me, the most compelling storyline since the Attitude Era. My personal opinion.
Oh wow! Okay. Question: Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, their relationship, has it played out on the main roster before? Because obviously I know their relationship from NXT, right? I went back actually and watch all that stuff. But I can't, for the life of me, remember if their relationship played out on SmackDown or Raw.
Of course, bro.
Did it?
Okay, so 2016, they had that awesome match at Battleground, one-on-one match. This was when both of them were on Raw. This was right before Kevin Owens teamed up with Chris Jericho and started their whole friendship.
Was it
so that's
the
2016.
Was it Sami turning on him or he turned on Sami?
No. So at that point in time, Sami was full-on babyface, like underdog babyface, and Kevin Owens was being a heel. And then, if you remember, just 2 years ago, at WrestleMania 37, the one in 2021, when the pandemic opened, but you can still, it wasn't like a full crowd yet. Remember that WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Didn't they have a one-on-one match? But at that point in time, now Kevin was the face, Sami was the conspiracy theorist heel, and they had Logan Paul introduce him that one time.
Yes, I remember now. Okay. So it has played out before, but the turn, the infamous like power bombing onto the apron, that was on NXT lah.
Correct, that was on NXT. So ever since then, their I guess their histories have been intertwined.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they also have a huge history back in Ring of Honor, PWG. So like, they are literally like life. They are Triple H and Shawn Michaels of this.
That one not counted because I never see. Most people never see, so that one not counted. But okay, like that was my only gripe. Like I wish that more of their rivalry was highlighted, like leading up to, like, in packages, like their friendship broken. But that is a very small gripe. Very, very small gripe.
So for you feel like this match live up to the hype?
Yes, absolutely. I believe it did. I believe that it was a lot more storytelling than it was a spot fest. And the whole like Jey Uso not trusting him, but then he freaking proves himself by sacrificing him like multiple times.
Yeah.
He's the MVP right now of WWE for sure.
He is. And the crazy thing is, right, even though it was a great match, no one really talking about Brawling Brutes, to be fair. It's all about the bloodline, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Like, this is such a one-sided affair because one side is just so entertaining and the other side is broody.
Okay, let's not talk about it. Let's not even go there.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. Okay, can I tell you, my favorite moment of the match is nothing to do with anything that happened in the ring even, bro.
Okay.
One of my favorite, most memorable moment of the match.
Yeah.
When Jay was in peril and then like the time came for like someone from the bloodline to come out.
Yeah.
Jimmy was ready to run in. And then Roman like, no, stop. You stay. Sammy, you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, this, like you said, the best minds in wrestling came up with this whole setup. And yeah, they didn't need to do 10,000 flips and, have a freaking million tables and thumbtacks and fucking exploding rings to be able to tell a story. And that's what I appreciated about this match.
And the crowd pop when finally like Jay accepted Sammy, gave him the biggest hug.
Yes.
Roman gave him the hug.
Yeah.
I feel right, it's just in time, bro, for the Christmas holidays, bro.
Oh, what? This is like a Christmas story? Like,
bro, can you imagine all the Bloodline Christmas vignettes they're gonna do this month?
Oh my god, yeah. So, which means the question becomes, when is the heel turn coming? Or who is heel? Who is face? Who knows, right? Where is the turn?
You know what? You know what's amazing about this whole thing? In some ways, it's very predictable. You know eventually the Bloodline is gonna turn on that.
Yeah.
But the best thing about this storyline is even though we know the end goal, everyone's enjoying the ride.
Yes.
As we go along.
Yeah, and once again, kudos to the creative team for letting it play out. Not trying to rush it and, he's supposed to turn, we better get them to turn on him, blah, 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 that kind of thing. I mean, I'm willing to bet you the original plan is for the Bloodline to turn on Sammy finally, and then Sammy gets back up in Kevin Owens, and you got your tag team contenders, and then they move on. But now we have such an interesting dynamic where he's basically a part of the Bloodline. He's been accepted, right? And yes, you get the comedic content all the way up to the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble is when you start setting up the seats for the challenger. What if Sammy were to win the Rumble?
Can I give a prediction, bro?
Sure.
Can I give a prediction?
Is this a prediction or a spoiler?
I'm not Paul Heyman, so I have no spoilers in hand.
Okay.
But my personal prediction, bro. If this was Vince McMahon booking this whole thing, they don't care. They will just shove this to the side, make this like a minor storyline, bring back The Rock, make The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the title. And then Sammy is just like a big part character.
Yeah.
But this is Triple H, the one booking, right, bro?
Yeah.
Do you feel there's any chance we could recreate January 4th, 1999, Mankind winning the title from The Rock and the Corporation, the most unlikely champion of all time?
So you're talking about Sami Zayn beating Roman Reigns somehow, lah?
Yes. Like, do you feel like this wasn't an expected move? Like, it wasn't planned. They were having other plans for WrestleMania, but because Sami is so over with the audience, he's the one that challenges Roman Reigns. Like, the dissolution, the beatdown of betrayal of Sami Zayn happens throughout the road of WrestleMania, and they have that one-on-one match as the main event. Do you think that can happen?
Yes, I do. In Papa H, I trust. I don't know about January 4th, right? But I really think that the Royal Rumble, Final Four, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes. Just imagine, those two alone are supposedly contenders for the title, right?
Yeah.
It's so unpredictable at that point. And you want to throw in Seth Rollins in that that Final Four as well. And I don't know, just throw in one wild card.
Drew or Kevin. Yeah. Oh, like, have Kevin on the match.
Yeah,
sure. The match.
Sure. Like, can you imagine that Final Four? You're like, holy shit, could it be Sami Zayn? And then if it is Sami Zayn, like, do the Usos, or maybe the Usos, one of the Usos could be in there. Do they help Sami?
Ooh, imagine Sami like last minute freaking throw out Jay.
Yeah, exactly. I knew it all along. And then we have so much storyline to go from there as well. Like, god damn, like going to the Royal Rumble, it almost feels like, yeah, they should capitalize and somehow have Sami be so close to contending for the title that, it'll start forming the cracks.
Yeah. Can you imagine, right? The Rock comes back just in time for WrestleMania, just to swerve everyone. Instead of going for a match, he actually gives the rub to Sami Zayn and says, Sami, go for the title.
Wow. And then we have Rock versus Reigns for WrestleMania. Wait.
No, what I mean is like the Rock gives the rub to Sami Zayn. So actually the Rock doesn't even wrestle at WrestleMania. He just does like a ceremonial role or whatever it is.
Sure. He shows up and like, hugs Sami Zayn or gives him the... Okay, no, I see that. I mean, whatever the rumors are that they want to bring back Austin, so maybe I think this Rock thing might have fallen through. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the Rock. I think let him go fight with Henry Cavill and Black Adam. On give Sami Zayn the keys to the kingdom at WrestleMania. Like I would. Okay, this is my prediction. So, Sami Zayn is the most unlikely road to WrestleMania participant. Gets the stamp of approval from the Rock just in time for Hollywood. He becomes the biggest star coming out of WrestleMania. Hollywood wins the title against Roman Reigns.
Sami Zayn is this generation's or this year's Kofi Mania. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man. Make him mankind, bro. Make him the unlikely hero.
Yeah, exactly. Cody Rhodes, I don't know what he can do then. You can go and fight somebody. Seth Rollins.
He wait for SummerSlam or Great American Bash or something that his father make lah.
Oh yeah, Great American Bash. There you go. That's perfect. Like, he needs to rehab his tete, and so like let him
give him more time.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's our review of Survivor Series. We did say this was going to be a packed show, right?
Yes, of course. This is almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's exactly been that. And yet we have more, because this Saturday is GrappleMax's final event for the year as well. It's Gold Standard, the final. And we're going to talk to two of GrappleMax's wrestlers, peeps, fam, in just a few minutes, of course, and Boss Gregory as well as Christian. But before we do that, one more time, let me remind you, we are doing a party December the 11th, the Kick to the Gut party, and we want to see you there as well. So go to our socials to find out more information. It's just $20. We'll feed you with pizza. We'll bring the fun. You got prizes to be won as well. It's just an opportunity, not just for us to say thank you, for being with us for the past 195 plus episodes, but also...
It's crazy, amazing.
It's time to just hang out and chill, man.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, guys, first and foremost, we have to tell you that this is technically our season finale for season 5.
Yes.
So after this episode, we'll be taking a break.
Short break, yeah.
We short break, like we always do every year. So we'll come back just in time for Royal Rumble season.
Yeah.
So for those who are going for GrappleMax, we hope to see you there. The next time you want to see us before we go on our long break is the 11 December event. We also, before that, we are planning a very special end of year podcast, like a live podcast. But it's like exclusive because we're going to post it after the fact. We're going to produce it, make it nice, very shiny, put it together with some of the footage that we filmed from our event on the 11th December as well. And then we'll put that as like an end of year gift for this year.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys please join in as well.
Yeah, so Muhammad Daniel, where to get tickets, just slide into our DM. So slide into our Kick to the Gut Instagram DM and we'll fill you in on the information. You just transfer us the $20. We'll tell you where to show up. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And we'll track you down and you give us your shirt size so we can give you some swag on the day.
Track you down. Oh, okay. That sounded a little bit aggressive, but it's fine. It's fine on a Monday afternoon. All right, it is now time then. Okay, before we hand things over to ourselves and talk to Greg and Christian, do you want to add in anything else?
Nothing much. I mean, this is the season finale. We've done 5 seasons. I mean, I need some time to reflect and think about it, but I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. End of the year, December. If you guys going on holidays, please go ahead. Please relax. Mr. Young, please enjoy as well.
I will.
And we'll see you guys on the 11th December, man.
Absolutely.
Party. Let's go.
Take care of yourselves. Of course, the Discord link, if you haven't already joined the Discord, is below. You can reach out to us on Discord as well if you want to buy tickets for our event and come hang out with us and all that kind of stuff. And yes, like Foreign said, please take care of yourself. Please get rest. Take care of your mental health. End of the year can be very stressful. I just want to very quickly remind everybody, because I know that the end of the year is a time where people start reflecting on their goals, achievements and stuff. And sometimes we can feel like we didn't achieve it. They always say that the end of the year is the most stressful. Just remember, what you achieve in 1 year might not seem like much, but when you look at it from a 10-year perspective, 20-year perspective, you realize, oh my gosh, how much you've done, how far you've come. Look at this podcast. First year, I was like, are we really doing much, you know? And then we've grown and grown and grown. I mean, would we like to grow more? Of course, yes. And here's to another 10, 15, 20 years of us talking wrestling, bro. But my point is, take care of yourself during these holidays. It can be a stressful time. Mental health awareness.
Yeah, for sure. And especially us wrestling fans, they really test our mental health on this AEW and WWE. So I hope, if nothing else, you guys get frustrated or what, or you know, if you guys need some sort of break, please talk to us. And we won't be around for the next couple of weeks. But after that, after 11 December, we shall see you guys in the new year. Hopefully, with a refresh. Season 6, bro. It's going to be another year of wrestling to talk about as well.
Let's go. I'm excited. Okay, but right now at this point, let's talk to, once again, N-Boss Greg and Christian as GrappleMax does their big event this Saturday. Let's do it. All right, first things first, we have to wish N-Boss Gregory happy birthday. Everybody together. Happy birthday to you. Hey.
Thank you.
From GrappleMax, we got N-Boss Gregory, we got Christian as well. First of all, welcome. Well, for one of you, welcome back to the show. The other one, welcome to the show for the first time.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to finally be on the show.
Yes.
It's so great to be back, and thank you for the birthday song. It's nice to be a big 40.
Welcome to my age range, the 40s, by the way. How do you feel?
I gotta ask you for more advice, Young. You have more time here than me.
Like I told Gregory earlier, you'll feel it first before anything else. Physically, you'll feel it first.
You feel it before it comes.
Yeah.
Already feeling it.
It's like all those nights where you're like, oh, I used to stay up till this time. That one cannot already. You need to go to bed.
Yeah. It's like after running training, right? We used to hang around after training for like 2-3 hours doing more training, right? Yeah. And now I'm like, guys, I want to go. You all keep going. I go back and check already.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you guys are the two fittest 40-year-olds that I know. So it's not as if like you guys have let yourself. Oh, come on.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Too kind.
Of course.
But Christian, yes, welcome. First time on the show. I know for the longest time we were like, all right, we need to get Christian onto the show. You know, he's like this young prospect. Do you consider yourself a young upcoming prospect at this point already? Or are you like, okay, I got some hours, I got some years behind me now. I feel good.
I don't feel young. How about we start there? I feel like I wish I started earlier, but especially like now when I see all the younger 20s, the young 20s coming in, I definitely don't feel like young and respectful.
It's okay. It's not so bad. Do you want to share on how you actually got into GrappleMax and how we actually met and led to that story?
Yes. So my introduction to GrappleMax or local wrestling in Singapore as a whole is from Foreign himself. And I met Foreign on a job. It was the longboard shoot, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, 2019. It was a shoot, right?
Yeah, where was that?
Oh, I think it was like Coney Island or something, right?
Yeah, okay. And so he was there for the interview, wasn't it?
Correct.
Right.
I was like a production assistant, and so was I wearing like a wrestling shirt or something? Is that why we?
I don't know why, but I remember you wearing a yellow shirt, but I might be wrong. But no, you weren't wearing a wrestling shirt. No.
Okay.
I didn't talk to him for the whole day. Like usually with my job, I just kind of stick with the model and babysit her for the whole day.
Ooh.
And it wasn't until halfway through the day, because it was a full day shoot, and I'm just sitting down with Foreign and we're chilling out, and then we exchange Instagrams, and then I think I see a picture of you and you're holding like the older IC title.
Yes.
That's you with the IC title. And he was like, you know what this is? And I was like, yeah, I love wrestling. And then that's how it starts, right? And then you just start shop talk about wrestling all the way, and we just hung out for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
Nice.
and you know what's the crazy thing? That was like the period where we did that debut match with Lady Killer. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I think it was around the period, I think like May of 2019 afterwards. And then like, I think that's when we had a lot of the recent photos from Marina Bay Slam. Yeah, and then we just got...
It was in 2019, right? Because I remember you telling me. So then you told me about GrappleMax. You showed me some photos, and at the time I was still living in Juchet. At the time the dojo was in Juchet, and I was like, oh dude, this is like 5 minutes from my house. Yeah. And as you told me about it, I walked down, like I think the next week. I just went down and I was like, is this GrappleMax? And I was like, yeah, sign up. And the day I signed up was also the day that I was like, can I also like start training today? And it was Greg.
Wow, amazing.
So basically,
Greg, don't say I never promote GrappleMax.
Of course, always.
I was about to say, Greg, you have Foreign to blame for Christian, if he gives you any trouble.
I know who to look for in the end. Yeah,
exactly. So, what, as a wrestling fan, right? We always ask this question, but what got you started? Who was the first wrestler you really were enamored with? What was the first feud? How did you get into this?
So it wasn't one person in particular. And the funny thing about me and my introduction to wrestling is that the whole family was really into wrestling. Like my mom, dad, my brother, they love wrestling. I was never into it.
Right.
As a kid, I was never into it, but it was always on TV. Like everyone would just like sit and have dinner together, and we'd have wrestling on TV, and I always rolled my eyes. And all the times that I had seen it, it was more like heavyweight stuff, like main event kind of stuff, and it just didn't appeal to me. And then fast forward a couple of years later, so I'm an Air Force kid. My dad worked in the Air Force, so I essentially grew up in Arizona. I consider that my childhood. And my brother's got it on TV. My brother is younger than me, by the way, so he's got it on TV, and it was a different kind of wrestling that I'd seen before, all the other times, and it was actually like just SmackDown. And it was the entire like cruiserweight division, and that's what got me into it. And I was like, oh, this is different, because like these guys were smaller, they were flipping around, flying around, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing. And then I was like asking my brother all these questions, and he was just like, yeah, so like, you can watch this, and then there's this other show called Raw, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that too. But then over on Raw, I saw like a different thing. So I'd seen like the like whatever selection of women they had in SmackDown, and it didn't really like appeal to me. But then I just felt like the women were doing something different on Raw, and I thought that was like hardier. Favorite era of women's wrestling, golden era women's wrestling.
Who are the wrestlers you are talking about here?
Lita, Jazz, Molly Holly, Ivory, Jacqueline, Gail Kim, like that group of people, and I thought it was just cooler over on the Raw side. Plus, they had something to fight for. They had a belt. But then over on SmackDown, I was completely enamored with the cruiserweight division, and like that generation of guys, like Billy Kidman, Tajiri, Shannon Moore, Rey Mysterio, Spike Dudley, Naya Theo. Like that was my favorite like era of cruiserweight.
So we are talking about
Jamie Noble.
Jamie Noble. So we're essentially talking about the post Attitude Era, sort of like around the Ruthless Aggression era. That's when you first started watching pro wrestling.
Yeah. And I had seen some stuff before, and my brother collects VCDs. So even though I started like at the beginning of Ruthless Aggression, I just grabbed my brother's VCDs and watched like older WWF stuff as well, and we'd watch it together. And then it became a habit, like in my teens, like I'd go out and buy the latest pay-per-view, and then we just watch it together, like on those budget-ass pirated VCDs.
I think we all grew up like that, bro. That's how we all got our wrestling content back in the day.
And then so like I wouldn't say that there was one person in particular. It was really more the cruiserweight division, and I just thought like the women's division on Raw was like a different thing compared to SmackDown, and it was the kind of thing that I would sit and stay and watch. as opposed to what was going on SmackDown. I think SmackDown had a bit more soap opera storylines going on. I think at the time it was like the Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie thing.
The L. Wilson stuff. Yes, we remember.
Yes,
Greg, talk to us about Christian's sort of journey, from this young kid that started 3 years ago, was it? And then to where he is now. Talk to us about his progress, what you've seen, what you like. I don't know if you want to go into the other side of it.
Let me pull up his report card.
Report card. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, but I think the cool thing about Chris, maybe the school in general, is we always try and bring out like their personal interests and personal style and who you are as a character. I think Chris, you've wrestled how many matches now, Chris? I've forgotten your match count. Are you on 5, 6,
7 matches?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Chris at the start, everyone goes through the grade 1 graduation, and it's always pretty basic. Create a wrestler, basic kind of wrestling style for your very first match, right? And I think for him, as you can see as you go along, really developing a very cruiserweight kind of style to his repertoire. I think look at all the guys we have. Very few do what Chris does in the ring these days, with the handstands and the flips and top rope stuff. And all these are things which we sort of incorporated more and more over the last few shows into his moveset. And we found that the fans were really responding to that as well. So his was very organic. I think what I love most about characters like Chris, people like Chris, is that you don't have to work too hard to find what the correct angle should be, right? And I think, was it 2 shows back, Chris, where people were coming up with like Chris Stratus signs?
Yeah, that was so embarrassing.
No, it's amazing. I loved it. Right? And that's what you want to see, very organic fan engagement, right? And then that tells you you're on the right track, which is how we got to today, which is Chris challenging for the cruiserweight belt as well. Yeah.
Chris, how did you develop your quote unquote wrestling style and athleticism? Were you always an athletic kid growing up, or was this what sort of brought it out in you?
I have like the smallest little stint in gymnastics as a kid, but I would say I kept active. I was a big yogi. I did a lot of yoga because I had a back injury about 5-6 years ago, and it was triggering a lot of sciatica pain. And so I started to do yoga for that, and then I realized I was getting a lot stronger, core work, and just being able to do a lot of things that I didn't realize were maybe not so natural, or maybe like not the average person could do. So I would say that when I first came into GrappleMax and I was getting like my introduction to the basics, I think maybe that aspect of it was a lot easier for me than for others. Yeah, and then I later found challenges. Like I think chain was a bit of a challenge for me in the beginning, but now I love chain so much.
Right. Would you say that, like, because I also do yoga, right? I feel like a lot of people look at yoga and go, oh, you're just stretching, blah, blah, blah. And Greg, you can jump in on this as well, right? It really gives you a strong foundation because yoga teaches a lot of body awareness. And in wrestling, you got to know every inch of your body, what works, what doesn't work, what goes this way, that way, right? Does that make sense as a link?
Yeah, so I did yoga for quite some time before I joined wrestling as well, right? And a lot of that is like, again, is balance and awareness and like, full understanding of what your foot is doing in comparison to your ankle or your whatever, right? So and it's the same thing in wrestling where you need to really know, because every small adjustment you make can affect how easy or hard a move is going to be. And I think that was quite transferable from yoga as well.
Foreign, when are you going to join us doing yoga? That's the question. I want to see Foreign do a downward dog.
To be fair, I have done a bit of yoga. Virgin Active. I quietly do. I don't tell people.
What? Hey, basket. This fella probably doing wheel pulls, back bends, or we don't know.
To be fair, there's like, I think there's still a bit of stigma when men look at yoga. And I mean I entered yoga for the recovery and healing aspect of it first. But then as I ventured into other forms of yoga, I realized that you can really cater into strength work, and it's not just strength or core work, but like when I got into GrappleMax, I was just like obsessed with it, and it got to a point where I was going 5 days a week, 2 classes a night.
Wow.
And then by Saturday, like my body is just a mess and I don't want to leave my bed. And I switched over to a different yoga. I switched over to practicing yin yoga, which is a lot more intensive stretching for like you hold a very intense stretch for 5 minutes at a time.
Yep.
And by the end of the hour, like you've regained back like so much mobility. And then you learn about like, you know, if you just give your body this intensive stretch, it actually really helps all your muscles recover and takes away all the aches and pains. And then by Monday, I'm good to go. And then, you know, I'm ready to mess it up all over again.
Like I legit have friends when I tell them, you know, hey, you should come and try yoga. They legit go, looks so boring, looks too easy. Won't work up a sweat. Bro, you try holding a pose for 5 minutes, certain poses you hold. I guarantee 1 minute you pingsan already, you know? So it's crazy.
Nothing easy about yoga at all.
No,
nothing
that
easy
is
about
not.
yoga.
Absolutely not.
And as you grow older, isn't it like really good for recovery as well? Especially like, you know, it really helps like stretch out, especially if you do anything even as wrestling. After wrestling, doing yoga I think is a perfect way to condition your body back.
Yeah. This has become a yoga appreciation.
I know, right? Welcome to the yin.
You know, to answer your question, a lot of my moveset comes from the stuff that I'm able to do because of yoga. Like, I got a lot of help from Dave at the beginning stages. I didn't even know I could do a headstand. I didn't know. He's just like, can you do this? And I was like, I don't know, I'll try. And then apparently I could. And I was like, I guess yoga did that. So.
It's all that core control, I think, that helps you there. Yeah.
And coming back,
I know we were just saying that how like yoga teaches you body awareness, but I'm still not very aware of like what my body can do. So a lot of times I just try things once and I'm like, okay, well apparently I can do this. Let's put it into my moveset.
Nice.
There you go. Okay, let's jump into the card proper. Of course, we're talking about the final event for GrappleMax in 2022. Gold standard. It's been quite the journey working up to the gold standard. The final, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Shall we jump straight into the card?
Yeah, we should, right?
Okay, let's do it because I have it in front of me right now. Okay, so first up, we have a graduation match. DJ Kelp and Ben versus Oppa. Is that what he's going by now? Oppa Jordan. He's leaning.
That was just for you guys.
Oh, that was just I'm looking at kind of Oppa Jordan.
Out there. Now it's out there. Now it's official. Sorry, Jordan. It's official now.
We need to embrace that. He needs to get some K-pop music and he needs to start
Remind me to put
becoming
an
like an
asterisk
idol.
in the future. What is meant to be out there and what's not out there.
Can he actually speak Korean or not?
I don't think Chris. I don't think so, right?
He needs to learn.
So.
He needs
but
to learn some
we're gonna
phrases.
have to enforce that.
Yeah,
for him
lean
to pass
into
his
it.
next grading session. Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm pretty sure
compulsory.
I'm pretty sure he hates it.
Oh
Like,
my
he
god!
hates, the association. Yeah.
He just switched off the podcast at this point in time.
Right.
Fuck this shit. I'm done.
Potential heel turn, huh? It's like,
Maybe.
I'm so tired of being called an oppa, and then he shaves his head or some shit.
We're always planting seeds, right? Even now we're planting seeds in this very podcast.
There you
He
go.
becomes the fallen idol. That should be the
Oh wow.
progression.
There was one in the news just today, right? Yesterday.
Yeah. Chris Wu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The anti-pop idol. Okay, so who is? I'm not familiar with Ben. Wait, is it BAN Ben?
Yeah.
I'm not
BAN
familiar.
Ben. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe just for context, I think for the whole show, right, I think what we want to try and do with this show is to really bring together a lot of things which we're very famous for, right? So you can see it's a very loaded, a very stacked card, but we didn't want to also forget that we're also well known for having these very, very, very intense and very character building grade 1 graduation matches, right? So Ben actually would be a familiar face to those who have been coming for the last few shows, because if you look at the guy in the ring wearing the referee shirt, it hasn't always been Sufyan. There's been another guy doing refereeing for the last few shows, and that was Ben.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's been doing that while waiting for his chance to pass his grading.
I see.
Yeah. So Ben is the new guy we're debuting for this show. So same case where his character will still be sort of up in the air. We're trying to see what works for him in terms of face, heel. What's his wrestling style? He's not really a high flyer. He's very much more of a technical based wrestler. He learned really, really fast. I think within like a month or so, he was doing some very elaborate sequences with me in the ring. And because I think being a referee as well for so long, he's got the experience already of stage presence, where to stand, where not to stand, eye contact, timing. So I think a lot of that also transfers very nicely to what he's going to be doing in the match as well. So that's Ben. The other one you guys may not have seen is Simon, who is facing off. So it's Carl and Ben versus Simon and Jordan.
Yep.
Right. Simon had his graduation match with me at the match showcase last month. You may have seen him doing springboards and stuff on our social. So he is super athletic. I think he's based in JB, if I recall correctly. So he comes down to train with us.
Wow.
He's super serious about this sport. He's been training like crazy. I think he's our fastest to graduate from the Grade 1 program. And went straight to the match with me and was pulling out ridiculously high level stuff that he wanted to do.
Will you say he's a natural?
I think he is. I think tons of potential. For him, the challenge really is not to just be the move guy and to bring in like the character as well. So again, I think all this is part of the GrappleMax journey where, here are your strengths, right? Moves are great, athleticism is great, but what about the crowd connection, right? So it's all about testing them during these matches. And again, as always, we have the veterans in these graduation matches to also carry it, to show them the ropes firsthand. And that's where both DJ and Oppa, I shouldn't call it Oppa, and Jordan come in as well. It's going to become a thing for this match as well. So that should be a very fun, very, very, very simple, very competitive match between, two guys who really want to show what they can do for the very first time in a ring, in both Simon and Ben.
Nice. Speaking of DJ Cal, we last saw him at the SPW event, right? On the first night. So talk to us about this little cross promo match that you guys worked out for night 1. How did that come about?
Yeah, also happy anniversary to SPW. But it's 10 years is an incredible achievement. Sorry I couldn't be there, but so glad we did this match with them. I can't share too much about how they put it together. I think what many people don't realize is that we do talk a lot behind the scenes. People always think that we're always like quietly trying to fight and trying to kill each other. But actually, we all came in together like 10 years ago, back in Kampong Ubi. So we've been talking for a very long time, and we knew that Andrew wanted something special for the 10th anniversary, and we sort of thought about it for a very long time. Like, is this the right time to do such a big Forbidden Door crossover event? But we also figured, if not now, then when's the right next time to pull the trigger on such a thing? So and I think I like the fact that it's both someone who has been previously from there way back in Smart Dave, and also someone who is potentially very not new to our fans, but very new to the SPW audience in DJ, doing that as well. I think exciting to also see Eurasian Dragon back in the fold doing this with them and with Ring of Rebirth, and also I believe Urfi was also in that match.
Yes,
who I've seen at one of their previous showcases. So a very interesting character as well. So yeah,
my question is with 3 teams representing 3 different brands, like how do you all decide on the finish? Like, how do you all fight for your team to get the victory? Because GrappleMax,
hey bro, the best athletes win. What are you talking about?
That's why GrappleMax won, right?
Well, I mean,
don't make me make that quote.
I just opened up a can of worms. Thanks, Foreign.
You guys set it up. I just knocked it out of the park.
Who was representing SPW on that match?
Oh, it was Black Arrow.
Was it
Black Arrow
and Big Good Jack?
Big Good Jack. Oh, okay. Because I definitely noticed a theme in that match. It was one veteran and one sort of young boy or newer talent in each team. Because you had Smart Dave, who's a veteran, and you had DJ Cal, who's one of the newer guys, right? Well, I mean, comparatively, then you have Eurasian Dragon, and Urfi is the new guy, and same in this case, law. So I'm like, oh, okay. When I saw that card, that match listing, I was like, I definitely thought there was a theme there. Did you guys actively want to theme it that way, or it just happened like that?
Well, for us it did. So again, we weren't involved in the booking of the match directly. But for us, it was a case of, okay, look, we're going to send 2 guys. what's the right combination to send, right? And it definitely shouldn't be like something like Dave and me. That's totally, it's not the goal of what we want to put forward, right? So we thought we definitely want to send Dave because, again, he has that history, and it's nice to have sort of like a return to that arena and that space for once. And when you look at the seniors we have, like in terms of the packaging and who suits that particular booking the best, I would say that, DJ is pretty close to the top in terms of how the right guy to put forward in that kind of situation. Yeah.
How does DJ DJ Kel's like position in GrappleMax now? Because I see him now like at the opening match, like helping to bring up the newer people.
Yeah,
so is that why he's going?
It's an interesting time, right, for DJ because if you recall, he was actually in the gold standard tournament, right? And then COVID sidelined him, and we couldn't figure out a way for him to get back, with COVID. So he sort of missed out on that particular path in terms of where his GrappleMax career could have gone, right? At the same time, he has a lot of history with us, right? He was our first, he was an MBS and we're a Marina Bay Slam champion. He probably could have gone pretty far in gold standard. So right now, effectively, he's kind of to the back of the line in terms of, the ranking, so to speak. But he has a point to prove, right? And I think 23 is a big year for him potentially. It really starts from now again, which is, rebuilding his stature within both the school and within what the audience sees him as well. Because while he's been sort of away or sort of not in the gold standard scene, many other names have come up during this time as well, right?
Yeah.
So just like anyone else, he has also worked his way back up into the scene in 23. But potentially big things for him coming up, and he has a lot to prove. A lot of new things added to his repertoire as well, with his background now in boxing and MMA as well.
Nice.
So, we'll see.
Let's move on to the second match of the card. Aussie versus Showtime Inc. Now, this is interesting because Showtime Inc., right? It's Prabhu and unknown partner, which we will probably find out on the day itself. Like, interesting. Why is it an unknown partner? Is it a new member of the faction? Is it somebody from outside?
Yeah. So Showtime is sort of building his own little dynasty in GrappleMax. I think Chris has a lot to say about Showtime as well after this. But I think as far as Showtime is concerned, he's really building up a very big numbers advantage. And this is really creating a lot of problems, with the other tag teams as well.
I noticed you chuckled when you said that because, there's this other group out there, I don't know if you've heard of them, called Inglorious, who, is supposed to be the dominant group, and then Showtime is trying to start his own little insurrection here. What's going on, bro?
Inglorious busy in the main event scene. Yeah, no, but I think Inglorious is always there. I think the tricky part for me, again, speaking as a booker, is what's the right angle that makes sense where we're going to, right? Same reason why I'm not even on this card, right? Because we looked at the entire card and we said, these are all the stories we've been building very organically for the last 6 months, 8 months, and there simply is no natural way to sort of shoehorn Gregory back into a narrative just because I want to wrestle, for example. So same thing for Inglorious. It's not something which we have to rush to get us back into a very active state at this point in time. And again, because you have such strong teams now like Showtime and Aussie, right? So I know you guys are not big fans of the Aussie gimmick, so I hear.
Hey, we never said
I've heard some feedback about
come
this.
From? No, we question. We question.
I listen to your podcast, guys.
Right? No. We question their Aussiness, their authenticity when they call themselves Aussie, because neither of them are Australian.
Well, they're Aussie appreciators, I suppose, right? I think. Okay, honestly, again, a lot of these angles sort of come up with from the boys and the girls, right? And I think what I liked about it, and why we pushed for that, was because it's a very strong, a shared history and a shared appreciation can translate into chemistry in the ring, right? And I think the fact that they are trying to at least give a background as to why the team exists, and the connecting thread was in fact Aussie, right? So in a way. They're not wrestling as Australians, but they are wrestling as having had that connective tissue.
Okay. We also
but it was interesting feedback to us when we heard about that.
we also can't forget the one guy in this match that I am a huge fan of, Prabhu. I want to get your thoughts, Greg, like especially his progression, because when I first interviewed him and he first came to the podcast, he was just a young guy, just finished his grade 1, and like to see his progression all the way until now. What's your thoughts on him, bro?
Yeah, it's so cool, right? I think Prabhu is another one who has really taken the ball and run with it, right? And he could easily have sort of stayed in just being a very cookie cutter kind of big guy enforcer kind of gimmick, right? But he has a very strong background in wrestling. He's very athletic, right? You've seen his high kicks, his big boot. He's a very athletic guy, right? And I think that gives him an edge in terms of being a very unique type of big guy character, not just in GrappleMax, but in the regional wrestling scene. So I think he has sort of gone from, again, similar to how Chris has developed, same thing here, where he's gone from what could have been a very generic portrayal of a big guy character and become a very different character-driven character as well. And you see that in all the videos that Showtime Inc. has been recording and all these vignettes, and so it's really fun stuff that they're doing, and I really love that they're pulling all these personal character stuff into their work.
Nice. Yeah, I just love how he's so confident and like really embracing this like gangster bodyguard for Vel, right?
It's really cool. Yeah.
Of course, the big question mark lah, the spanner in the gear, as it were, the unknown partner. Is there anything you can give us in terms of who this person might be?
He'll wear that gimp suit.
Really?
Okay.
Is it going to be?
He got a M18 rating for the show.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I guess it's one of those. Okay, you have to be there to find out who it is. Deals.
We don't know either.
Again, Showtime's doing its own thing. Okay, but I think stay tuned to our socials. The story will develop as we go along. I think you're seeing that the marketing team is doing a lot of content that's being pushed out, right? And we're trying a lot of new things. That I think one thing I'm very happy with is I sort of took my hands off the wheel and I let the guys go and run it. You see now we've got tons of videos coming out. Chris had a really great promo a couple of days back talking about Showtime. Hotshot had a great one talking about Master Takanashi. And Showtime's been pushing out tons of content. So I think likewise, as always, follow the socials and stuff will come out. And again, we love planting seeds. We know some fans come to watch just for the show, but many more fans love coming in because they see that GrappleMax loves building these very long-term hints. So I think I would say keep watching, and it all makes sense. We don't do random fantasy booking, right? We love to have things that sort of built to next year's stuff, right? So whatever you see in this show is really setting the stage for our 2023 plans as well.
We love our Easter eggs. We are very familiar with Marvel movies. And also when N-Boss talked about how he's not going to be involved in the card, and I look at the card, I'm like, 2 of his Inglorious members are in. One is in the main event. I'm like, yeah, sure, you're not going to be involved. Sure, okay. Wink.
No comments. No comments.
Let's talk about this inter-promotional match. Very excited for this, actually. Okay, LK and Crypto Bro LK, that is, and Sarah versus No Phoenix, Diana, and Shaukat from Apex. Yes.
Apex, yes.
First of all, tell us a little bit about Sarah. Are you familiar with Sarah Foreign?
I've seen some of her footage, but I haven't seen her wrestle live. So she's quite a recent graduate, right?
Yes. So she's wrestled 3. This will be her 3rd match.
Okay.
So again, she's also sort of setting the stage for future, hijabi girls come and join wrestling as well. And she joined, specifically because she was very much inspired by No Phoenix Diana.
Nice.
Yeah. So and so we figured, if we and Phoenix has come down for GrappleMax show before, back in when we were still in Aljunied, like back in 2017, right? So she does have history with us. We always wanted to bring her back, especially after she's gone, really, really far since we last saw her. We want the fans to see that she's gone, to such heights since she last came to GrappleMax. And and Sarah's been training really hard, and we thought with this background, it makes a lot of sense if we could to have her face her inspiration, her idol in this particular match. And we also brought in LK and Shaukat because they too have some history. I think they just faced off in the first round of the APAC.
Oh yeah.
The APAC title tournament. So there is some history there as well. I love the fact that it's interpromotional where we have co-founder and Sarah. We have co-founder in Phoenix. And this is what this match is really all about.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that you guys brought those Malaysian talents, like especially in the last couple of years, it's really grown to be huge stars in their own right. What are your thoughts on like what APAC has been doing the last couple of years and what they are trying to achieve in Malaysia as well?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think both APAC and MyPW, right, they're taking very different paths to grow the Malaysian wrestling scene. APAC's going for very glossy, very TV production type of wrestling product. MyPW a lot more scrappy, a lot more focused on building a lot of young kids to come and enter the industry as well. So I think again, I love the fact that there is this diversification, right? Like you saw it with us in SPW. You're seeing it now in Malaysia. You're seeing it in different countries. The Philippines is rebuilding their industry as well. And I just love the fact that this really forces the promotions to create different styles. Right? And this will force, and once they have those styles established, it's better for the fans too, because they see a different type of wrestling and they can choose what they want to do, right? They don't like this one, there's always the other company. Don't like that, come back here again. So I think it's just fantastic news, right? To see how far Malaysian wrestling has come since we began doing this back in like 2015, 2014.
Yeah, they have definitely matured. The industry has matured, and like there's more promotions popping out. I think it's very heartening to see, like, especially as a long time local.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? Like MyPW's Iman, right? You all remember Iman, the kid?
Yeah.
He just won the MCW title like a couple of days back.
So, Melbourne.
Melbourne Championship Wrestling. Right,
Nice.
I think it's the one of, if not the biggest promotion in Australia. And he just became their Commonwealth champion, I believe is what they call it. First Malaysian to win it, right? So I think it's just so cool to see how fast that particular scene is growing as well.
Let's talk about your stablemate, Hotshot, and he's going up against Masa Takanashi. Okay, how did this match come about, by the way?
Yeah, similar to Phoenix, right? Masa's a very long time friend of GrappleMax, right? Masa has wrestled with us multiple times. He did Showcase 10 with us back in Juchat.
Yeah.
He wrestled on our show when we did the show in Tokyo, in Shinkiba. So he knows the school very well. He always took care of me when I was in Tokyo. So we always wanted to bring him back for a big showcase kind of event, and we figured 6th anniversary, why not, let's do it now and bring him back for that. Then the next question then was, who should face Masa, right? Because it's always a high profile thing. We don't want someone who's too junior because you can't maintain that high quality of a match. You don't want it to be me because there's no novelty there, right? So going back to long-term booking, we went back to what history do we have, right? And we've got great footage of Masa totally beating up Hotshot in front of his parents.
Wow.
Right.
Oh my god.
And so we have this history where, but the thing is, it's changed, right? Because at that point in time, Wilson was still working. He was still a face. The fans still loved him back then, right? So it's a very different narrative. Since then, Wilson has changed so much to become Hotshot. He's become this very much hated character, right? So then what's the angle going to be, right? Is he going to be the bad guy as Masa comes in? Is Masa going to be the bad guy? What's going to happen for this particular match? And Wilson has all this history with Masa that he wants to show, right? He said in his promo he's been main eventing almost half the show since we came back from COVID. So it's much more than just I want to prove something. I think Wilson's view here is that I am the shit. I am the best here, right? Therefore, who else should wrestle Masa but me? And that's awesome because you wouldn't hear Wilson say this like 2 years ago. That's how far the character has changed since we first saw him back in 2017.
Yeah, he always has given me these like Austin Theory vibes, like he's always been a natural, and then now he's developed this edge to him. And I think having this high profile match, do you feel like he is ready for this moment?
Well, I mean, he's Inglorious, right? So he's definitely ready. That's not saying, right? But I think just to add to that, though, I think the tricky question, as always, is which side of his game Masa Takanashi will want to bring to the table, right? Because on one hand, I think if you guys saw him at the SPW shows over the last few days, he can be very comedic, very animated, right? But a huge character. But at the same time, in terms of technical wrestling ability, he is easily the best, one of the best, if not the best in the region. Easily.
Okay.
Right? And so if he's going to bring that side of him in terms of the technical side, I think Wilson will have a really tough battle ahead of him.
Right.
So it's almost like this is his breakout party. Like, can he prove that he can go toe to toe with Massa? Whether it's
he
in the
believes
technical
he
style.
can prove it. He believes he can prove it, right? But I think this is what the fans will want to wait and see, right? Can Hotshot really walk the talk, right, and hold his own against really top class talent in Masa Takanashi?
I mean, we've definitely talked about seeing Hotshot grow from the first time we saw him all the way till now. I think he's definitely sort of proving himself each and every time. He comes out more confident each and every time. So yeah, I'm excited to catch this match as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Wrestle Square Cruiserweight Championship. All right,
Yes,
Christian.
finally.
Yes.
Chris, you're up.
You're up.
Talk to us about how you've been preparing. What are you thinking going into this one versus Showtime? And knowing that the guy on top of you on the screen here, over there, he's friends with Showtime, did his entrance music and everything, huh?
Hey, bro, it's all business, bro. First of all.
It's all okay.
Nothing has changed. I've always taken training really seriously, and I thought it was interesting that when we started off this year with our first live show back, that was FK COVID. That was my first time interacting with Showtime, and I didn't realize he'd play so dirty, right? Because he was someone that I had no interaction with prior, and then since then I've just been witnessing him one after another, just like either talking smack or avoiding confrontation, or as he claims, doing things on his own time. And so I thought it was quite a surprise at the second gold standard, was it? When he pulled out an open challenge. Didn't think he would. But I mean, I'm glad that he did. I'm glad how things turned out, because I think that it's definitely time for a new champion. Not that I want to get cocky, but if that were to happen, I want things to be different. That belt's been sitting around on the same shoulder for too long, and it's we need to dust it off, polish it, and sort of start reigniting the spark that is cruiserweight wrestling. And I think when I first joined GrappleMax, I think I might have been like one of the last batches of students that came in just before the ring came in as a permanent fixture.
Yep.
So, and it was like, from what I've observed, like, having the ring come in has opened up even the existing students as well as newer ones to explore a more cruiser style of wrestling. And so now I feel like there are more viable people to compete in this so-called cruiserweight division. And if I were to grab that belt, I just want to like celebrate competition, like I just want there to be challenges all the time, and not have that belt just be sitting around on someone who really doesn't deserve it all that much.
Ooh, shots fired. So if you win the championship, then will you get Foreign to do your entrance music?
I don't know if you heard it from the last show, but like that, I think I found my thing,
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your entrance. Yeah,
you have heard it, haven't you, Foreign?
Yes, I do. But I can't wait to experience it with Young if he's there to see the performance.
That's right.
I hope you make it, Mr. Young. I hope you make it.
I will try. I will try to stick around. Yes.
I got one quick question for you, Christian. Like, do you feel like it's almost destiny that you should become cruiserweight champion, given your love and how you discovered wrestling?
That would be like so storybook, wouldn't it?
Yes, it is, right?
I don't want to jinx anything. I really, I'm excited at the thought of it, but also overwhelmed because, obviously we had a bit of a pause with the pandemic.
Yep.
And, I'm happy with how I debuted, but almost somewhat untimely, if you will. Like, I debuted on Fighting Spirit. It would have originally have been Showcase 12, and then it became Fighting Spirit. And I remember February 29th, and then the very next day, we went on a countrywide lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And so yeah, like it was put on hold for like the longest time, and then coming back into it, it felt like a debut all over again, because in a way it was, because I had not performed in front of a live crowd. So this year felt like my debut again. So thinking of it that way, everything escalated very quickly. But I guess like actions lead to good consequences, good results, and maybe because of like what I talked about, like my interest in that cruiser style of wrestling and wanting to portray and use more of that type of repertoire. Maybe that's kind of what led to this, and I hope that there'll be more of a cruiserweight presence in the future.
Nice. And you'll be the one to lead it. Of course, standing in your way, a man who's not all too unfamiliar with bending the rules, twisting the rules. Do you have any game plan, any idea how to thwart that, how to keep it clean in the ring? Because Showtime, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything about your bro, Foreign, but, he's been known to bend a rule or two.
There's no way that this match is going to be clean. I already know that. Like... I have my work cut out for me because I kind of run things on my own. And Showtime has a whole posse and apparently building up his little empire.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum on his side as well. And who's the third? I don't know who Tweedledoo will be, but like I feel like there's gonna be interference, if you will. So I don't know what to expect. I'm very on guard about this.
Foreign, you better stay in your seat, huh? Don't try any funny business, huh?
All I can say is all the best, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Let's talk about the main event then. The GrappleMax Openweight Championship. Gorgeous belt, by the way. I've seen the shots. I haven't seen it in person, unfortunately, because I missed the last show. But I've seen the shots on social media. It's a beautiful belt. Tell us a little bit about the belt. How did the design come about? Where did this this thought of like finally making a GrappleMax title come from?
Well, I think the first thing to think about is really, how long we've made the fans wait for a belt, right? And I think even Showcase 3 people already asking, hey, so when's the GrappleMax belt going to come around, right? That was 2017, 2016, right? So
wow,
it's been a while since we've made people wait for the belt, and we figured, there's tons of belts around the region.
Yep.
If we just debut the belt with no real significance, then it'll just be another belt, right? I think the main goal here was to if we finally make a belt, make it really look like, the most prestigious one in the region. And we do intend for that to be the goal with this particular belt. We completely spared no expense. This is a very expensive belt that we put up there. And we want to make sure it really looks the shit when we put it up there.
It looks expensive, yes.
It is. It very much is. I'm trying to recall what else the maker has made, but I'll find it. But anyway, the point here is that it's been from a very experienced belt maker. It's open weight, which also means it's open gender as well. So it's going to be an open belt to all classes, all genders. And yeah, so that's the idea behind this particular belt. It's the first of hopefully more as we go along, but we really want to have something for the guys to begin chasing, right? So I think it's two things. It was developing the audience to be ready for there to eventually be a belt, but also making sure that we have enough guys, right, to start to really challenge, right? We can't just have a belt and then the same 2 guys fight for it for the next 2-3 years. It doesn't make any sense, right? So now we have enough guys coming up through the programs that we can really have some really compelling stuff for the next 2, 3, 4 years to come. So that's the goal for the belt.
Do you feel like it was destined for the first inaugural champion to be like the first generation of GrappleMax wrestlers, like a Smart Dave, or do you guys want it to be like a representation of the youth, the new era? Like someone like Remus he's been there since the beginning, but he hasn't had that main shine all the way until now. So what's your thoughts?
Bro, sounds like you're asking him who's gonna win. Because that's the final right there. One is the old guard, another one is the up and well, then again, Remus has been around. Let's not forget that, and he, didn't we say something to that effect? And then he was in chat that day, and he was like, "Actually, I've been around. I'm not a new guy either." So
yeah.
So
that's my thought technically, right? So I'm not gonna ask you who's gonna win. I just want your thought process.
Speaking as N Boss Gregory, Remus is gonna win, right? Because
of
he's in
of course.
so that goes without saying. I think he's been training for a very long time. We know how Smart Dave's wrestling style is, right? And similar to Showtime Inc., we know how to play this game as well. So along those lines, I think Dave will have a very tough time ahead of him during the match. Speaking as one of the co-founders of the school, right? I think what is cool about this final is that, like you mentioned, there's a very big difference in where these two guys have come from. Dave is a multi-time champion across the region, right? He's won the Hong Kong AWGC, both tag and singles, right? And Remus has not won any belts, right, in his entire career. Right? What he brings to the table for Wildfire is, number one, he was in our very first main event of our very first show, right? It was him opposite sides from Dick Togo, right? So he came through trial by fire, no pun intended, right, from the very start, right? And while we were all away during the pandemic, he was working on his moveset, bringing in all his new stuff. He was working on his moonsault day in, day out to get it perfect. The one thing missing for him right now is some gold around that waist, right? So from a very romantic, very poetic sort of standpoint, it would be pretty cool, right, to see our first student take the belt, take the gold home, right? On the other hand, Dave has got so much experience. He's so tenured. He has been a champ, right? Who can doubt that as well as who our first champ will possibly be? So, no idea, man. It's like,
let's not forget that Ambrose Gregory and Smart Dave have a very storied history as well. So, sort of along that train of thought, Remus would have had some whispers in his ears as to how Smart Dave might work, how to possibly defeat him, coming from a person who has tagged with him in the past, no?
Yeah, and I would argue that Remus has also come through maybe a much harder path to get to this final. If you go back through the whole gold standard tournament, right? So Dave overcame Showtime plus numbers game in his first match, right? Second match was Dave and Prabhu one-on-one, big match, meat slappity horse fight, right? That's what that was.
Meat slappity, I like it.
But Remus, first match had to go through LK, right? Co-founder number one, right? Semi-final was through me. Right, he had to go through N Boss Gregory, his mentor, his faction leader, his coach, right, to really get to the final, right? So he's already dumped LK. He's knocked N Boss Gregory out of the tournament, right? This is one coach left for him to clear. So
he's kind of like Chris Jericho, bro. He beat Stone Cold and The Rock, then now on the way to the title.
Is it his time? We'll see. Yes.
We'll find out. So I think that is going to be... Well, we're very proud of the path that we've taken to put this whole match together. And we do hope the fans have seen the amount of work we put into really creating these very long-term narratives. And again, we haven't forgotten everyone else's history with different characters as well. All that will come back, both this show as well as the coming months.
So question, are tickets still available for the show?
Early bird sold out, I think, 2 hours before we closed it, so that's cool.
Right.
We're opening up a very small handful of regular price tickets. We just opened up this morning. I can tell you it's literally less than 10 because it's all we can fit.
So we are we are recording this on a Sunday. So by Tuesday when this airs, they might be already gone.
They might be already gone.
But you can still check. If you're watching this, listening to this right now, still go and check. Get the tickets to this Saturday's GrappleMax Gold Standard, the final. Okay, very quickly before we let you guys go, what's in the future? 2023 coming so fast. What does GrappleMax have in store?
Well, first thing you're going to see is, in terms of champions, right? You're going to have a guaranteed first Openweight champion for GrappleMax, right? That opens up a whole new series of who's the first challenger, right? Who's stepping up to face whoever this is going to be, right? Where does the loser go from there, right? Do we have a rematch clause? Yet to be decided, right? Right? Probably not, right? You're going to have, cruiserweight, you're going to see, right? So if Chris takes it, what happens next, right? Is it going to be, who's the next guy to face up for the cruiserweight championship. If he does, we've got a ton of new guys coming up who are incredible in the ring, really using the ropes, like people who began training with us when we had a ring, right? A slight different take on wrestling versus those who were with us in the OG batches, right? If Showtime holds on to it, where does Chris go next, right? How do we stop Showtime from running riot over GrappleMax? Should Inglorious get involved, for example? Who knows, right? We're going to see a lot more collaborations moving forward. We're planning the February show will be quite a big one. Again, we don't look at booking a ton of huge stars per show. We look very strategically at what helps to drive stories forward for us into the coming months. You're going to see teams like Aussie move on to become, even more interesting, more engaging. We're building the tag scene as well. We're building the ladies division. So we're looking at least to run hopefully 5 to 6 shows next year.
Nice.
Awesome.
We had really strong response to the mat showcase that we ran last month. So we will want to try and bring back the mats probably on a semi-regular basis as well.
So will we see a cool MCU timeline graphic come out very soon?
Always. We love it.
Those,
Najwan loves doing it.
Yeah.
So we're going to MC you guys again. Hopefully no other world-changing things will happen to ruin such. So please touch.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so we will be pushing out event calendar very soon. We're just locking down some of the logistics with our venues. But yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of exciting new angles. And again, the main focus for us has always been building, a really strong, sustainable group of local, homegrown talent and homegrown angles to really push pro wrestling forward.
Nice. This anniversary will be considered your sixth year officially.
Yeah, well,
sixth
six.
anniversary.
Somehow we got to 6 years.
Well, here's the many more as well. I don't know what happened to Christian's screen, by the way. I don't know why he became so small over there. Some weird technical thing. Everyone else is okay, but Christian's screen is super small. But that being said, Christian, very quickly, what do you want to say to the people who are coming down, to your friends and family and fans who have supported you since you started this journey?
I just want to say I'm really lucky because I have a very consistent group of people that have come down to every single show since I've started doing the live shows. One of them being, the girl who held up the Trish Stratus poster with my head on it.
Respect to her, man. I loved it. And it had your face of Photoshop on it.
My face stuck right on it. She's probably the biggest fan there for me. It's going to be a really exciting show. I'm excited, but so nervous. Biggest match to date for me. And I just think it's the coolest way to end off the year.
Yeah, that's great.
And Boss Gregory, any closing thoughts on this upcoming event and the future of GrappleMax?
Yeah, really just want to thank all the fans. I think it's very hard to run a pro wrestling company in this region, especially a second pro wrestling company in this region, right? And for the fans to see that we're building something so different really means a lot to us and the team. So again, do check out GS Final, Gold Standard Final, gsfinal.ptix.com to see if tickets are still available for this Saturday's show.
There you go. And of course, check out GrappleMax on Facebook, on Instagram, all the social medias, all the information will be there updated. And wait for the cool MCU style event posters, courtesy of Nashwan.
All the best, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so
once
much.
again, thank you guys for dropping by, Christian, Greg, as well. It's always a pleasure to chat, and we'll see you this upcoming Saturday, guys.
Yes, thanks for having us, guys. See you then.
Kick to the gut. I like it.